Yo. Yo. Am I live? Can y'all see me? Can y'all see me? Let's see. I'm excited. Let's see. What is good, y'all? Oh, the lag gonna fix. It was messed up when I started it. I don't know, it dropped for like 2 seconds. Yo! Alright, let's get lit. I'm about to post that. We started up on all of the socials. We're about to have a good time tonight. I'm excited. Very, very excited for this live. We have a big day tomorrow, guys. Big day. As always, if you have any questions, you can send them through here, or if you have a specific question you want, you can send it to the email that is in the description of this, and I will answer all of them. I'm gonna be honest, I low-key don't have anything pulled up. Yes, I do go there, Alejandro. I don't have anything pulled up yet, so I low-key need to pull it up so that I can actually answer these questions. But before I do that, I have to tell everyone on Instagram, everyone on TikTok that I'm live so that they could slide and get their questions answered. Are we getting 1600s tomorrow, guys? Are we getting 1600s? Are we failing? What are our thoughts? I just posted a video. I think tomorrow's going to be a hard SAT, guys. I'm sorry to tell you. I think that the English is going... I think the English is going to be fine, but I think the math is going to be hard. I think the math is going to be hard tomorrow, guys. Only study for the English section. Do I need to do the math section? Well, you have to do it. You have to do it. You have the SAT in 2 hours. That's tough. Yo, do you have any last minute questions? Do you have any questions? Some hard geometry? Of course we'll do some hard geometry. We're going to do everything. But yeah, we could do some hard geometry. Give me 2 seconds. I'm about to post. I'm posting everywhere that I'm live. All right, we should be good. You're cooked for both? Nah. You're not cooked, bro. Don't say that. You're not cooked. You're not cooked. All right, let's do it. Let's see. Let me get everything pulled up, and then we'll get started. I'm excited. All right, let's see. All right, we'll start with a hard geometry question. How hard is hard, guys? Like, because I could get some hard geometry questions. So like, I need to see like what type of questions are we talking about here? Are we talking about like extremely hard, like kind of hard? How hard are we talking? Y'all want the craziest question you'll ever see? I actually wrote this one. Let's see. I'm going to do a very, very, very hard one, guys. Y'all might be cooked by this question. Y'all might get cooked by this question. Jack, I want you to try to answer this question, Jack. I bet you can't. This is question 22 on my SAT that I wrote for y'all. What are our thoughts, guys? Can we get this question right? Guys? By the way, guys, if you have a specific question, it is so much easier if you send it to my email. It is so much easier. The email is in the chat it is in the description. Send any questions to contact@tutorbydesign.com. I'm going to spam it in this chat right now. All right, I should have just sent it a ton of times. Yeah, I did. All right, perfect. Let's see the live chat. How to type decimals in answers? Yes, I'll do that. All right, so what are our thoughts on this question, y'all? Do you get this question right? Or do you give up? What do we do on this question? Because, like, bro, this question's low-key not even that challenging. All right, look. So, look, I have a regular polygon, right? I have a regular polygon. What does that mean? What is a regular shape, right? A regular shape. So of course, I'm going to give y'all so many questions. Questions on tomorrow's SAT, questions from past SATs, everything, y'all. All right? So why do I think the math would be hard? Because the last 2 math sections were jokes. The August SAT I thought was easy. I thought it was really easy. And then I saw the September SAT, and that was even easier. So look, you have a triangle. You have a regular shape here. You split this up into triangles. And what you do is you say, all I got to do is just draw these into triangles. And so what it has is all of these angles will add up to, ain't no way this guy just said you need to know the equation to find the area of a hexagon. That is ultimate brain waste. I guess it could help. Like, it does help. Like, yeah, but like not everyone knows that. You can always just do this. Like, what if it's an 8-sided shape? Like, do you know the area? Anyway, so this is 60 degrees because there's 6 of them and they add up to 360, so it's 60. Now we also know that these two sides are the same because the distance from the center to the edge is the same. And so if those two sides are the same, then these two angles are the same. And so these add up to 120 because there's 120 left if I took 60 out of the triangle. So these are each 60. And so now if I cut this triangle in half, this will create a 30, 60, 90. So now this is 30 degrees. And so what I just do is I realize that if I have that the base is 34, then this is 34. That means this 1/2 of it is 17. I could also tell that this is 34 because it's an equilateral triangle. And so then I would just realize, all right, well, this is 60, this is 30. So across from the 30 is x. Across from the 60 is x root 3. So the height of each of these triangles is x root 3, which is just 17 root 3 because the x is 17. So 1/2 base height is the area of that triangle. So 1/2 base of 34 times height of 17 root 3. And there's 6 of them, so there's 6 of them. That's the area of this whole base. And then I just multiply that by the height because the volume of a shape is just base times height. So then it's just times 22. Whatever this gives you. This gives you b. Basically, yeah. Not the derivative of a triangle. All right. This guy, Noah Greenberg's gooning. Get a load of this guy. Why did I make triangles? You always make triangles with a regular shape that you need to find the area of. You always make triangles, guys. You cannot, unless you know the area of a hexagon. I think it's s root 3 over 2 or something like that. Like s squared root 3 over 2. It's like some weird thing. So like, unless you know that, you're cooked. What if all right, bro. Yo, this Lucas Safran kid definitely got like a 900 on his SAT. 100%. I know for a fact this guy got like a 900 on his SAT. Which Blue Book practice test is most realistic to the actual test? Like, none of them. Maybe number 7. 6 for English. And then either anything between 7 and 10 for math. But they're all not realistic. None of them are realistic. All right, let's see. I haven't even opened up my email. If anyone sent me an email with questions, which again is a much easier way. Let's see. Hold on. It is in the Google Drive. I wouldn't do a full-length SAT tonight. Do not do a full-length SAT tonight, guys. Not the move. That is not the move, y'all. Do not do that. Yo, send me some questions, y'all. Send me some questions, guys. Send me some questions. Send me some questions. Guys, I do not think that there will be unit circle tomorrow. I do not predict a unit circle. But do y'all want a unit circle question right now? Do y'all want a unit circle question right now? Guys, I don't think that there will be unit circle, but do y'all want a unit circle question? Should I do it? Should I do it? Should I do it? Should I do it? I think I'm going to do it, guys. I'm doing unit circle. I'm giving you guys a hard SAT unit circle. Someone send me a hard unit circle question. I want to do one. These ones are too easy. Nah, this one's ridiculous. Let's see. Let's say I'm going to just do one. So let's say that point A is on a graph. Point A, ain't nobody need standard English conventions. Oh nah. Of course I don't know what will come. Obviously I don't know what will come, but I have predictions. This is my job, so obviously I have predictions. All right, so look, we have point A at root 2 over 2, comma root 2 over 2. And I have point B at, let's say, point B is at, let's say, negative 1/2, comma root 3 over 2. And I need to find, these are 2 points on a unit circle. Okay? There are 2 points on a unit circle. Let's draw this. There are 2 points on a unit circle. And I need to fix that then. Let's see. Let's move these out. Let's move these away. Let's move them down and out. All right, look. This is SAT. This is ultimate SAT question writing right now. Y'all are seeing a master at work. So look. Let's put a dot here. We have a point at root 2 over 2. And then we have this point B at this point. We need to find the distance between those 2 points by an angle. So look, I need to find this angle, y'all. How can I do such a thing? How can I do such a thing? How can I do such a thing? Teach my boys a hard regression question? Oh my God. I would, y'all want to see what we have up next? Y'all want to see what we have up next? I'm gonna pre-fire questions for y'all. For those of you that want to go fast. All right? Because I don't play around. 10, 3. Let's see. I'm pre-firing a hard question for you guys. Okay? First, we're doing this. Yes, we're gonna do English tricks. Okay, we're pre-firing questions. I'm gonna write down a list of what's next. So look. So next. So what's next? I need to move this down. What's next? Let's make this bigger. Y'all, let's get some questions in here. So let's get some questions. So number 20, we have unit circle. Then we're gonna do impossible regression. Then we're gonna do English tips. Then we're gonna do standard English convention. Then we're gonna do sector area. You want some sector area? Okay. What else? What else, guys? Sector area / arc length. Okay. All right, bet. All right, that looks good. All right, how are we doing this question then, guys? How are we doing this question, guys? What should we do? What should we do for a question so monstrous like this one? This question's monstrous, guys. So look, assuming you don't know the unit circle, guys, here's how we're going to solve this question. Assuming you don't know the unit circle, guys. Assuming you don't know. Yo, we're going to do the hardest linear equation question you have ever seen, Jack. All right? The hardest linear equation question you have ever seen. All right? So look. Anyway, but this is not that. So for this question, assuming you don't know the unit circle, what you could do is, I'm going to do even harder than scale 6 and 7. I have my own even harder than that. All right? So let's look. It's not a question of what people need. It's a question of what's fun, guys. We want to have fun here. So look. So with this question, what I could just do is realize that I have like 2 triangles. Like if this is triangle A with the A point, then the X value is like root 2 over 2 and the Y value is root 2 over 2. And so I can find this angle theta by just doing like tangent of theta is like opposite over adjacent. I get root 2 over 2 over root 2 over 2, which equals 1. So if tan theta equals 1, then I can just write in Desmos that this is like theta is tan -1 of 1. And if I'm in degrees, Desmos will tell me that theta is 45. So this angle is 45. Now, if I go and do the same thing for B, where I say that this is -1/2, and I actually don't write it as a negative yet. I don't care about that. I just make it positive 1/2 and find this theta. I can say that tangent of theta equals root 3 over 2, the opposite, over 1/2. And I don't know. What'll Desmos tell me? What's that angle there? So tan -1 of square root 3 over 2 divided by 1/2. And we make sure we're in degrees. And so it tells me it's 60. So this is 60. And so remember, these 3 angles should add up to 180. So this angle is just 180 minus 60 minus 45. Bang. It's easy. This isn't on the SAT. This question is literally in the question bank. Straight from the question bank. I just made up my own numbers because I wasn't trying to find it. Straight from the question bank. Okay? Guys, I don't play about this. All right? Straight from the question bank. Go touch. Yo, get out of here, Logan. You literally sold my fantasy team. And now you're coming in the stream and gooning, bro. All right, since you guys want an English question, we'll do an English question before we do an impossible regression one, all right? We'll do an English one before we do an impossible. Why did I do tangent? Because tangent, if we have SOHCAHTOA, tangent is opposite over adjacent. and I had the opposite sides and the adjacent sides. All right. What type of question should I do for English? Do you guys just want general tips? Do you want a specific type of question? How do you change to degree? Go into Desmos, click this tool button, click radian or degree. Click radian or degree. It's only coming out of your left headphone. I don't know if that's a you problem or a me problem. Let's find out. That's a me problem. Let's see. Hold on, we're about to go muted. Chat, are we cooked? Why is it only coming out of one freaking headphone? Why is it coming out of one headphone? Guys, should I change to the oh, I'm not collabing with that person, guys. Chill on me. Why is it only coming out of one headphone? Let's see this. I don't know. Whatever. Text. Okay. First person to send me an English question in my email, I'm answering it. All right. First person to email me an English question because I'm too lazy to look for one. Oh, someone already did it. You beat them all. All right, guys, your goal is to stump me. All right. This document you just sent me is the one document that is actually able to stump me, guys. This document actually is able to stump me. I don't know why is it just coming out of the right freaking headphones. It's annoying me. Oh, I know why. I fixed it, y'all. I fixed it. I think I fixed it. All right, guys. This document has questions that are so hard it's crazy, guys. So hard it's crazy. Okay, before I do that, I'm about to show you how to do this, but all right, we're good. Yeah. I did fix it. I fixed it. All right, bet. I'm so hyped today, guys. We're actually locking in on the SAT. All right, look. Number one tip. You guys can do this while I'm answering this. Number one tip is you guys want to on very, very hard questions, you want to summarize the text. All right? You want to summarize the text. You want to write down each sentence. You want to summarize it sentence by sentence. Okay? You want to summarize it sentence by sentence. Okay? What is that going to allow you to do? That will allow you to do the whole thing that the SAT wants you to do. Your one job on the SAT is you take questions, okay? And you take what they're saying and you summarize it and apply all the sentences into one cohesive answer. So look, when I read this question, here's how I do this. And by the way, on the actual day of the test, you should just do this after you read the whole thing. But when I'm looking through this, what I'm going to do is after every sentence, just for practice, I'm going to write down every single what's the word? I can't think. Every single type of question or every single sentence. I'm going to summarize every sentence, right? I've done this question before. This is a hard question. Low key, I might get stumped on this, y'all. Don't get mad at me if I get this wrong. No, I'm not going to get it wrong, guys. I don't get questions wrong. No, I shouldn't say that. All right. So look, we want to directly support the researcher's conclusion, right? So it says, growing season in Alaska have been extending further into the year as a result of climate changes, potentially enabling increased carbon dioxide, CO2 absorption through greater productivity of marsh, whatever this is, plants and other vegetation, but also potentially enabling increased CO2 output through greater heterotrophic respiration. That is a crazy sentence. So I'm going to write growing season in Alaska has been longer, increased CO2 absorption, but it also says increased CO2 output, right? Increased CO2 absorption, I could write via marsh, whatever. I'm not even going to finish writing that. And increased CO2 output via like heterotrophic respiration, right? And so then what I would do is I have the next sentence. It says, these hydrologists and the colleagues developed a model incorporating numerous inputs, years of solar radiation and snow covering data among them, to evaluate the effects of changes to the CO balance in Alaska, concluding that net CO2. So, okay, this is the conclusion. This is what we want to support. net CO2 is likely to increase if seasonal, I'm just writing exactly what it says. If seasonal, I'll just say net CO2 up if CO2 or if seasonal snow cover arrives early relative to surface freezing. Okay, so basically we want to support the idea that if the surface freezes, if the snow cover arrives before the onset of soil surface freezing, we're going to be increasing net CO2, right? Yo, I would never put the fries in the bag. Chase Brown, actually put the fries in the bag. This kid. All right, don't rage bait me, bro. Don't rage bait me. All right, look. So for this question, by the way, guys, if you haven't already, take 1 second, like up the stream so that I can lock in, guys. Like up the stream so that I can lock in. All right. Anyway, this question. So growing season in Alaska is longer. There's increased absorption via the marsh, whatever production. There's increased CO2 output by heterotrophic respiration. We want to prove that net CO2 goes up if seasonal snow cover arrives earlier than the surface freezing. So it says early snow cover reduces the amount of moisture available for the growth of plant species such as this and lowers the rate of heterotrophic respiration. Well, if I lower heterotrophic respiration, remember that if the absorption, right, if the absorption goes up, absorption goes up. Let's see. Absorption goes up. Then we have CO2 down. And then we have that if heterotrophic respiration goes up, we have CO2 goes down. Obviously, or CO2 goes up, right? I do not run out of time. No, I do not run out of time. Because obviously I don't do this whole crazy write-up for like every question. I wouldn't even do it for this one, but like I'm trying to like, we want to see everything that we could possibly think of, right? You should be thinking about this in your head. Okay, so if heterotrophic respiration went down, then net CO2 would not be good, right? Net CO2 would not increase, right? So I don't think that's going to be A. Now B, seasonal snow cover tends to persist longer in areas of low vegetation growth and high heterotrophic respiration than in areas of low, relatively high vegetation growth and low heterotrophic respiration. So for this, the problem is, wouldn't you be worried about the time that it gets onset? You're worried more about the time that it gets onset than you are about the what's it called? Than you are about I can't think. You're more worried about when it like is onset than when it's gone. Like this is saying the longer it stays there, the better. So I'm gonna probably put a question mark there. That's a terrible question mark, right? So just not really talking about the correct thing. Why did everything just go away? Let's go back. Everything just went away. Let's go back. Okay, sorry about that. I clicked some button. Okay, anyway. So next thing is we have a question where the soil insulation provided by snow cover enables heterotrophic respiration to continue displaying or to continue during a period in which plant species are typically not growing. So it looks here like the heterotrophic respiration is generated by the activity of soil microorganisms. So this insulation enables it to continue, right? It enables it to continue. The fact that the snow cover is there enables that heterotrophic respiration, which is, by the way, what we need. It enables that to continue, which is, like, that looks pretty good. That looks like it's probably going to be the answer, but I'll continue going just in case. Now, D, the effect of solar radiation on the growth of vegetation. I'm immediately crossing this out. We didn't talk about solar radiation ever. Okay, like, gone. So look, I think it's C, because C says that the soil insulation, which we want, right? The soil insulation by the snow cover enables heterotrophic respiration, which is what causes the CO2 to go up during a period where the plants species such as these ones would not grow, right? That this soil being covered early allows the heterotrophic respiration to continue and the CO2 to continue going up, right? So I think it's A. I think it's C, right? I don't know. Someone fact check me. Someone fact check me. What document is this on? Actually, I know what document this is on. Let me pull it up. Yeah, I think it's C here, guys. All right, guys, what question do we do next? What question do we do next? What question do we do next? Next question that gets sent into this email, I am doing it. Next question. Oh, someone already sent one. All right, let's see. I have to put this on this screen. We're putting this on this other screen. That way, why is it so large? Why is it so large? All right, look. All right, I'm about to tell you guys something. This exact question I'm about to do. Yeah, this is like a crazy situation moment. This exact question. I tried to solve a question like this the other day, and I solved it. It's using some crazy, wacky way, right? Wouldn't that method take too long? Yeah, but like obviously it also took me a long time because like I was explaining it, but like in reality, like I wouldn't take so long, right? I would like thinking about like all that stuff you should be thinking in your head. A question like that should take you like 3 minutes, okay? A question like that should take you 3 minutes. All right, look. This question, I was actually tweaking. I am streaming until I feel like not streaming anymore. Probably about an hour and a half. I don't know. Usually I say like an hour and a half and then I end up going for like 3 hours. But also this one started later. So like, I don't know. No, you should not be spending 6-7 minutes, guys. You should not be spending 6-7 minutes on your questions. All right? Not be spending 6-7 minutes on your questions. Okay, so for a question like this, there's at least one real root and a factor of kx plus j, right? What is the greatest possible value of AC? For a question like this, honestly, first of all, by the way, this probably isn't showing up on the test, guys. Like, come on. All right? Like, come on. Let's be real. Let's have some goals and aspirations. But in the case that this did show up on the test, I'm going to think to write this as like ax squared plus 98x plus c is equivalent to, or just equal, I could say, to like kx plus j times some other factor of like, I don't know, like tx plus, I don't know, p, right? Because if it's a quadratic, then it would be factored like in this way, right? And so I'm thinking I could probably put this in Desmos and see what goes on there. So here, let's see. I go here and I just put this in Desmos of like a, and by the way, the t and the p are just random letters that aren't like any of the ones I already wrote. So like ax1 squared plus 98x1 plus c is equivalent to kx1 plus j. I wonder if this will work. Tx1 plus p over, and then whatever. And so what I do is I need to set a list for x, because if I don't, it's going to mess. If I need to set a list for x because I'm looking for values that are not x, right? I'm looking for values other than x. So I'm going to write like x1 equals, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now what I would probably do is I would probably write AC right here. And then I would just do, I mean, yeah, that works. And I'm going to show you the other way that you can do this using that. And so I would do this, and then I would just start trying to make like a slider for K and moving it around and seeing what like the highest value of like AC is, right? And so I would let this go up to, I'm going to let it go up to what, 98, because this is what that is, right? And so I would like see what it is. And so it looks like it's probably going to be somewhere around here. But like obviously you can tell quickly that this is inefficient. And so what I was going to say before I started solving this question is that this exact question I had on my desk, not literally on my desk, but I worked on this question with someone the other day, and they showed me how they solved it, and I was astonished. I was astonished at how they did this, okay? This is what they did. They said if kx plus j is a factor, then I can say that kx plus j equals 0, because remember how you can set your factors equal to 0? And then I can figure out x, so I can say kx equals negative j, so x equals negative j over k. And then I can plug that in for x. And I can say that a times negative j over k squared plus 98 times negative j over k plus c is equal to 0, right? because it has one real root. And so the b squared minus 4ac here should be greater. It should be greater than 0, right? It should be greater than 0. And so then all you have to write is that the 98 squared minus 4 times ac is greater than 0, and figure out what the greatest possible value of ac is. So I can just write that, what's 98 squared? 98 squared. So I get 9604 minus 4 ac is greater than 0, and you get 9604 is greater than 4ac, and so you divide both sides by 4. You get 2401 is greater than ac. So the greatest possible value of ac is 2400. But there's an even crazier thing. This negative j minus k was irrelevant. In fact, this whole thing was irrelevant. This whole thing is irrelevant. I know it has at least one real root, and so no. So the greatest value is, I guess it has at least one real root. So it's 2401 could actually be it, because then if it's equal to 2401, it would be equal to 0. So anyway, the crazy part is this is irrelevant. Literally all you have to know is that if I have my ax squared plus 98x plus c, and I have at least one solution, then I know that the b squared minus 4ac needs to be greater than or equal to 0. Like, they wouldn't word it like this. They wouldn't word it like this. They would just say this. If this given equation has at least one real root, what's the greatest possible value of ac? More likely, honestly, all you would have to do is say more likely what would show up on the test is like a question where they say like, I don't know, let's delete. Actually, we could leave some of this up. So they'll say like 10x squared minus 14x plus c equals 0. And they'll say if the equation has one solution, what is c? And then you have to do it. Is 97 wrong? Then yeah. It doesn't change. I didn't divide anything by -4. I added 4 to the other side. And then I divided by +4. And then it's 2401, because if it's equal to 2401, it'll have exactly one real solution. If it had to be if it had to be 2 or more solutions, it would be 2400 is the highest. All right, do I do an English question, guys? I feel like I want to do an English question, guys. I low-key want to do an English question right now. Yo, we have almost 50 people in the stream right now. Like up the stream, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you get a 1600 tomorrow, guys. Make sure you get a 1600 tomorrow. If you don't, you're cooked. Okay? If you don't, you're cooked. There is no crazy hard probability question on the SAT. They are all so light. Okay, let's look. Next person to send a math question to my email it's getting answered. There's already questions in the email, so I don't even know why I'm saying this, because I need to do these ones. I'm skipping. One of these questions I'm gonna do it in a second, but this one is so common. I've explained this one a million times. This question, is irrelevant. This question is not going to be asked on the test. I'll do this in a second. Next person to send me a realistic SAT question that could actually show up on the test. So this excludes math questions that you know darn well are not showing up on the test. I'll answer it. All right. I'm going to answer this one. All right. This one, I actually predict questions very similar to this one on the test. All right. So lock in, listen up. All right. 730 to 715 plus for reading. Bro, it's literally just lucky day versus unlucky day. I just showed you guys an example of how to summarize sentence by sentence. You use that, by the way, for very, very hard questions. When you don't understand a question, you take a step back after you read it, and you think in your head, what did sentence 1 say? What did sentence 2 say? What did sentence 3 say? And you give a basic summary of each sentence. Then you combine them all together to make a generalization of the text, and then you answer the question based on whatever it is. Now, what am I talking about? About crazy question that I expect. Crazy question that I expect. We're going to talk about some predictions, y'all. We're going to talk about some predictions. All right, here's a prediction for y'all. I predict a question like this on the test tomorrow. All right? I predict a question like this on the test tomorrow. What are we thinking? After this, I'm doing an English question. Somebody send me an English question into this email that is in the description of the live stream. It can be Actually, I don't want to do vocab, because vocab is just luck if you know them. Grammar, notes, transitions, texts, I don't care. Send it over. First person to send it, I'm doing the question. All right? It's like an auction, guys. It's like an auction. Literally is an auction. All right. I'll give you guys like 2 seconds to do the question, because after that, you should already have had it done, guys. Come on. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. By the way, thank you to all of you that have followed me on TikTok or Instagram or anything within the last couple weeks, within the last couple months. Y'all have actually got my accounts from like 1,000. I opened up my accounts in January, and I actually started locking in and posting in like April, and I just locked in for the summer with all of you guys. We all locked in, and you guys have actually pushed me. I have almost 25,000 followers total now. It's actually crazy, guys, and it's only gonna go up, guys. Mark my words, by the end of this year, 50K total, guys. Also, if you guys do not lock in on this SAT, registration for the September and December group for SAT group sessions is opening up tomorrow. I just finished last night my October group. It went really well. There's a lot of improvements that I'm going to be making. It's my first time doing it, and I figured that there were a lot of, like, the online thing. I had to do a couple things, but there's going to be a lot better, even better communication this time, and there's going to be a lot more stuff. All right, a lot more stuff for y'all. Anyway, this function is defined by this graph, passes through this point. If a is an integer greater than 1, what could be the value of a plus b? All right, so look. When I have two different values on a parabola, so 18 comma 0, and actually, why did I draw it here? So 18 comma 0, and then I have negative 11 comma 0, negative 11 comma 0. The vertex, the x value of the vertex. So remember, when you write your vertex formula, it's a times x minus h squared plus k, where h comma k is the vertex. The h value will be the average of those 2 points if they have the same y value. So I'm going to say, what's the average of these 2 points? It's negative 11 plus 18 divided by 2. So that would be 7 over 2, so 3.5. So if I draw this parabola, which, by the way, a is an integer greater than 1, so it looks like this, right? I know that my h is this. So in vertex form, I can write this as a times x minus 3.5 squared plus k. And I also know that k is negative. And so what I could just do is I could literally then just set this equal to ax squared plus bx plus c. And this is going straight into a regression in Desmos. I go in Desmos. I write in that a times x1 minus 3.5 squared plus k is equivalent to ax1 squared plus bx1 plus c. And then I make a list for x1 because I'm looking for something that is not a, or that is not x, or that is not x, sorry. I put in a couple of things to a table. And then I'm going to write a plus b. And then I'm going to make a slider because I know a is an integer greater than 1. So let's make it start at 2 because that's the first integer after 1, and we'll make it go up to 100. With a step of 1, that makes it a whole number. If the step was 1, it'll go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If the step's 0.5, it'll go 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5. And look at what happens. If a is 2, I'm at negative 12. Is that an answer choice? Yeah, it is. So if a was 3, it could have been negative 18. It could have been negative 24, negative 30, whatever. But when a was 2, it was 12. So bang, that's my answer. Moral of the story, the second you see a question like this is like the exact way they write these questions. Like this is the format of a question they write. You get vertex form somehow. You set it equal to standard form. You make a slider for a or b or whatever it is. You write your a plus b plus c, and it's golden. That's it. That's it. That's all you have to do, guys. Simple as that. It's actually not that simple, I understand. But, yeah. Okay, let's see. Who is the first person to send me? Who is the first person to send me an English question? You guys are so boring. You guys are all sending me math questions, guys. Come on. All right, someone sent me it. Someone sent me it. All right. After this, I literally have like over 10 questions in my email right now. So after this one, we'll do another math one. Actually, wait, let me back up. Did a different way. I use the table function Desmos. Yeah, but then you don't have the, then you still need to find the vertex, right? You still need to find the x value of the vertex. All right. This question, y'all. this question. All right, on deck, by the way, on deck. We're deleting this on deck. We're deleting this on deck. On deck, and if y'all think this is a crazy on deck, we'll change it. But it looks like on deck, we have... Okay, I like this question, actually. This was from one of the past SATs. So on deck, we have weird kite question. Past SAT. Okay, that is on deck. All right. Then we have... what is the probability? Easy. Let's do, yo guys, if you send me questions that have the answers on them, that ruins the whole point of doing the question. Just so you know. Okay, then we have weird reading with data question. All right. So far, so good. Then, that's a goofy question. Then we have constants in math. Okay. All right, that's on deck so far. That's on deck. Oh, then I'll do a hard percentage. Impossible percentage question. All right. Is this a W or L on deck? Is this a W or L on deck, guys? What do y'all think? All right, we're about to jump into this question. Delete. Let's see. All right. Let's see here. Okay. So the following text, it says, which choice describes the function of the underlined sentence? So the following text is from this novel. Victor Frankenstein, who is narrating this portion of the text, describes the state of scientific knowledge as he began his own study of the natural world. I read this book. Maybe I'll get it right then. So the untaught peasant beheld the elements around him and was acquainted with their practical uses. So this idiot, basically, he's saying, got the elements around him. He was acquainted with their uses. He understood the uses, right? The most learned philosopher knew little more. So this guy's smart. The most intelligent philosopher knew only a little bit more than whoever this guy's talking about, right? I did a unit circle question. Like, this is the first question I did here, actually, I think. He had partially unveiled the face of nature, but her immortal lineaments were still a wonder and not a mystery. So he wonders about it, and it was a mystery. So he doesn't know everything, right? He might dissect, anatomize, and give names, but not to speak of a final cause, because in their secondary and tertiary grades were utterly unknown to him. So he might like dissect and give names, but not to speak of a final cause. Causes in their secondary and tertiary grades were utterly unknown to him. So he still doesn't understand everything, right? He does not understand everything clearly, but he's a very, very smart guy, right? Also, he did not figure out a final cause. That's important to see. He did not figure out a final cause, right? They were utterly unknown to him. He did not figure it out, right? So I had gazed upon the fortifications and impediments that seemed to keep human beings from entering the citadel of nature, and rashly and ignorantly I had repined. So the underlying portion basically says he's trying to figure out what's going on, but he cannot figure it out. Right? Whatever he's trying to figure out was utterly unknown to him, even though he's a smart guy. It explains what can be gauged from a scientific approach to understanding natural phenomena. It doesn't. It says he couldn't figure out what happened, right? Couldn't figure out what happened, right? So that wouldn't be it. B, it describes an intensely debated scientific controversy. There's no controversy here. It undermines the idea that a practical approach... What did you say? Can you do one of those long percent? Oh, yeah, I'll do that. I don't know why I just got distracted mid-question. But anyway. C, it undermines the idea that a practical approach to understanding natural phenomena is inferior to a scientific approach. I guess this is a practical approach. What's the difference between a practical and scientific approach? Is that not the same thing? So I don't really know about that one. It suggests he did not discover what he wanted to know. Exactly, he didn't. This stuff was utterly unknown to him. He could not speak of a final cause. He dissected and anatomizes and gave names, but could not figure out what he wanted, right? They were still a wonder, and a mystery, right? He couldn't figure out the answer to whatever he was thinking about, right? Bang, bang, easy. Is that a W, y'all? All right, guys. If you are not an international student, you guys probably haven't seen this question before. But to all you international students, you might recognize this from the August SAT. So, yes, before y'all ask, this is a question that can show up and might even show up for you on the SAT this month, okay? It could show up on the SAT this month. So, yes, I really am only going to try to do questions today that I actually think could show up on the test. I know there's all those questions, and even sometimes I post online questions that are just so ridiculous that it's what are we even doing? But yo, the test is tomorrow. All right, the test is tomorrow. Let's not waste time. Let's not waste time. All right. Y'all don't follow me so you can waste your time. Y'all follow me so you can get a 1600 and get into Harvard or Yale or Princeton or whatever, Stanford, MIT. Y'all, how are your college applications going? How are your college applications going? How are your college applications going? In the SAT, I mess it up. Any tips? Listen, guys, the SAT, everyone says on the SAT, I get this right in practice, and on the SAT, I don't. Y'all, the day of the SAT, that is prime time. Do not fret. Do not get worried on the day of the SAT. Do not start crashing out. Think about this, guys. Read the news before the day of the test. Read the news before the day of the test. I tell everyone this, guys. Tomorrow morning, wake up and find the most boring news article you possibly can. The most boring news article you possibly can, and read that. That will help you. That will help you. All right? Read a book tonight, y'all. Read a book. All right, look. This question this is International August 2025. International August 2025. This question, what are we doing, y'all? So in quadrilateral, KLMN shown. KL is 5. LM is 5. KN is 19. And MN is 19. Diagonals KM and LN intersect at point G, where GK equals 1. Where's GK? Right here, where GK equals 1. Where GK equals 1. And GM equals 1. If the length of the diagonal of LN is this, where P and W are integers, what is the value of P plus W? So look, here's how we do this. We're supposed to realize that if we just bias, and this, what I'm about to say, specifically from this question, this idea was on the, September SAT on that question, that circle question where it looked like this. This idea was on it, and everyone was confused when I explained it. So look, I'm gonna draw this one too, so you can see. I'll explain it after. So look, we're supposed to realize that if we bisect something and create a straight line to another point, and then create two equal lengths, that is a right angle. This is a right angle, y'all. So this is what you do. You just created a freaking right triangle. You just created a right triangle. So look, let's take this triangle, for example. I'm going to take this triangle. I just created a right triangle that has, and by the way, I'm trying to find that this is, I'm trying to find the length of LN. So I'm going to say that this is X and this is Y. So look, in this triangle, I just figured out that this is right, this is 1, and this is 19. So what's this? What is X? It's X squared plus 1 squared equals 19 squared. So what's 19 squared? 19, is it 328? Maybe. 19 squared, 361. So X squared plus 1 equals 361. So you get that X squared is 360. So X is square root of 360. Okay, great. And then you do the same thing with this to find Y. Because in this triangle here, I have a 5 and a 1. So in this triangle here, I have that this is a right angle, this is 1, and this is 5, and I need to find Y. So 1 squared plus Y squared equals 5 squared. So I get Y squared equals 5 squared minus 1 squared. So Y equals the square root of 24. So bang, square root 24 plus square root 360 is the answer. So that says that's equal to square root P plus square root W. So P plus W is 384. Your SAT is in 3 hours. Lock in, twin. Lock in. Why are you awake if your SAT is in 3 hours? You should be asleep until 2 hours from now. This is a hard question, guys. This is a hard question. Is this a W question? Is this a W question? Guys, yes. These shapes get split into triangles so often because you're not expected to know how to solve kites. This is a kite. You're not expected to know how to solve that. Break it up into triangles, figure out like Pythagorean theorem or like this is chord theorem, whatever it is. W Noah, W agent. W agent. W agent. All right. What question comes next? What question comes next? Yo, weird reading with data. Do y'all want a weird reading with data graph? Do y'all want a weird reading with data graph? So we just crossed this off the list. Just cross this off the list. Y'all, send me those questions you want into this email, contact@tutorbydesign.com, and I will add them to the list of questions we are doing, y'all. I'll add them to the list of questions. Yeah, 24 plus 360. Somebody seems to be making stupid algebra mistakes. You got to use Desmos to check your answers, bro. Use Desmos to check your answers and you'll get it right. Which one do I need? I need this. Okay. 384, yeah. Cheat sheet of only the most relevant. Of course. Of course you can find that. And you know where you can find it? You know where you can find it? Only the best. Only the best. I'm about to give it to all of you. Hold up. It's in the roadmap. If y'all were actually locked in, y'all would have been on the roadmap doing it. I'm about to slide it in the chat. This is for one. This is for math. That's for math. Best general reading tip. I mean, I guess this isn't the best because you probably already know it, and that's for English. But obviously, don't do the test in the order you do it in, or like in the correct order. Also, y'all just flocked to this document. So also make sure you're summarizing things sentence by sentence. Start summarizing things sentence by sentence, right? Like after, we'll do one right now. Why not? We'll do one right now. We're about to do a hard English question. Someone emailed me one. I'm about to do it. So weird reading with data. Weird reading with data. Why is this so freaking small? Weird reading with data. Who is the one that sent me? Oh, I see. All right. This one's easy though. Bro, why is bro on one prep for 5 hours? For 5 hours, we're on one prep, y'all. Is this a W study session, guys? Is it a W study session? 5 hours of one prep? All right. So okay, while you guys are trying to solve this question, because I'll give you a minute to solve it. Send in questions. I'm adding more questions to the list of the ones I'm going to do next, because some of them are just ridiculous, and I'm not doing them. Also, again, if you send me a question that has the answer, that ruins the whole purpose. This is a game for me, y'all. Y'all don't realize it's a game for me. Your goal is to try to get me to get a question wrong. Okay, that's your goal. Okay, especially in the math, because in the English sometimes I do get questions wrong because I'm not perfect. But your goal is to get me to get a question wrong. Okay, so sending me a question that already has an answer ruins the whole game. All right, it ruins the game. All right, this is a game for me, y'all. This is literally a game for me. What? Okay, this question that one of you sent me, Jack and Kevin attempted to solve, that is not on the SAT. Okay, that is not on the SAT at all. I'm not even gonna think about that. All right. I have posted answer. By the way, also I have posted to the geometry cylinder ones. I have posted answer explanations to both of these questions before. Y'all. Y'all, almost 100 people are in this stream right now. Lock in, like up the stream. Next, people, if you email me these questions, I'm adding them to the list of questions. We're going with next one after these ones is crazy cylinder question. We'll do that one after. Then we'll do whatever. I can't even read the other ones yet. All right, we got to even get these ones done. Yes, both of these are on my TikTok. Okay, this question, guys. So it says, we want to use data from the table to complete the statement. It says, mycorrhizal fungi in soil benefits many plants, substantially increasing the mass of some. A student conducted an experiment to illustrate this effect. The student chose 3 plant species for the experiment, including 2 that are mycorrhizal hosts and 1 non-mycorrhizal host. The student then grew several plants from each species, both in soil containing mycorrhizal fungi and in soil that had been treated to kill mycorrhizal and other fungi. After several weeks, the student measured the plant's average mass and was surprised to discover what? He was surprised to discover that what? Well, what should he be surprised about? Let's look at this. So it says that the mycorrhizal hosts, right, they are doing pretty well if they're grown in mycorrhizal, and that the one that didn't have mycorrhizal in it still improved. It's still improved, right? It's still improved. Guys, by the way, if you're not already by the way, because a lot of you were asking where this doc is of like stuff. Guys, if you are not already locked in on tutoredbydesign.com, all right? Literally, if you're not locked in on this, look at all of this stuff, guys. Okay, look at all this stuff that you have. Okay, tutoredbydesign.com/resources. Best, it's actually, you can't see the link because it's blocked. tutoredbydesign.com/resources. All of this stuff. All right, all of this. Lock in, y'all. All right, look. Yo, don't leak SAT. Don't leak SAT. Chill. Anyway, so we should be surprised to find that the one that's not a mycorrhizal host, did well, right? That's what we're surprised about, right? I'm surprised that the broccoli did well, even though it wasn't a mycorrhizal host. So, it's A. Broccoli grown in mycorrhizal host, because it says that if it's a non-mycorrhizal species, it should not benefit and may even be harmed by mycorrhizal fungi. But here it clearly did better, right? Why did you lose 30 points? Yo, guys, I hate answering this question, all right? Yo, I can actually pull up, if y'all want, do you guys want this? Because my SAT, they used to show you the answers. They used to return it back to you. I can pull up the SAT I took and show y'all what Tutored by Design got wrong on his SAT. Do y'all want to see what I got wrong on my SAT? This was back in the good old days when they would send you back your SAT. You'd pay like an extra $10 and see the whole test. All right? Back in the good old days. Okay? All right, look. Let's continue. I'll pull it up while we're answering the next question. All right. Someone sent me a hard stats question. Constants in math, we're skipping that. Impossible percentage question, let's do it. All right, we're doing a percentage question. This one, straight from my practice test. All right, and I predict you will see a percentage question, obviously. Every time. In what decade would they do that? What do you mean? In what decade would they do that? In what year? Where am I going? Oh, I want to go here. Okay, let's look. Let's see. My SAT. Okay, look, guys. How do you do this question? I'm going to give you all like 5 seconds to solve it. Guys, I'm just going to live in denial about there being unit circle on the test until I see it on the American SAT. Also, bro, usually the test is like easy in one location and hard in another. So like, bro, like the September SAT was like average, maybe even considered hard for international, but it was easy for what's the word? It was easy for us, easy for American. Okay, look. Y'all, I have to make sure that this doesn't share any like crazy personal information before I show you. Let's see. What am I doing? See, just of course. Where is it? All right, look, y'all are gonna clown me. Y'all are actually gonna clown me. Y'all are gonna clown me so hard, bro. Y'all are gonna clown me so hard. Look. All right, so I got 4 wrong in the reading section. Keep in mind, y'all. Keep in mind that the reading section used to be like these full passages. These full passages were the reading questions. All right. It was a full reading passages, right? Oh, y'all caught this guy, bro. Ain't no way. No, some people have taken it. Like, I know Singapore starts it in 30 minutes. There's definitely people international that have taken it. But China must not have. I don't know. I don't know what time it is in China. But I guess I'll call him. So look. So I low key got a question wrong in math, and I still got an 800, y'all. But look, bro, imagine you could see your score, right? And I get my score back, and it was 800. Thank God. And you want to see the one question I got wrong? The one question I got wrong, you guys will not believe it, bro. Was counting rise over run, bro. I'm so serious. It was counting rise over run and then making a freaking perpendicular line. And I was so stressed out that I counted this wrong. It's so stressed out that I started counting this wrong, y'all. All right? Yeah, but if you had it in June, it was experimental. So it doesn't matter. Bro, I cannot believe I got this question wrong. And then, bro, I actually lost 10 points from this. Because they used to have like a writing section where like you would have to edit, and I got one question wrong. And you want to know the one question I got wrong, bro? I'm so mad. I'll never forget this, bro. This is a one question. So they used to grade the reading and the writing separate. So I got like a 390 writing instead of a 400, which is perfect. Because of this, bro, look. I got allude versus elude wrong because I was so nervous, bro. I was so nervous. I couldn't think because they used to only really test, like, they would test, like, effect with an A versus effect with an E, and I'd never seen this. And so when they asked me this question, I was thinking, wait, so does an A mean verb and E means, like, a noun? And I crashed out when I got out of the room. I was like, yo, I'm such an idiot, bro. Allude, like an illusion. I'm so dumb. This is before. They used to send you back. They used to send everyone back their test. Like, everyone used to get to see their test questions. Yeah, it was before the SAT went digital. They used to send you back. You would pay like $10 and they would send it back to you. This is 2023. Y'all want to know something crazy? I want to show you what the hardest question was on this test back when I took this test, bro. It's crazy. It was crazy. This was considered the hardest question. This was question 38 on the second section, bro. This was the freaking hardest question. And now this is considered like medium. Like medium. This is considered a medium question, y'all. Like, bro, no, like the test was so easy, I missed the paper SAT, guys. The paper SAT was so beautiful. All right, chill. All right, we got to get back to this. You put the 1 ... when you're trying to find the value of something that's not the x. So you're trying to find the value of like a or b or c. Also, I don't like using 1 ... because then if it says like x is greater than 3, you're gonna get it wrong. Put in a list. Do like x1 is equal to like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Read the chat. Enough of this. All right, I got it. I am reading the chat. All right, look. How do we do this question, guys? Here's what we do. Oh, is it a good idea to do reading 1 through 12? Yes. Well, no. I would do reading 1 through 5 until you're on the reading section, and then do 27, then backwards. But anything that does the reading last is fine. Anytime you're finding a constant that's not x, yes. Okay, look. The answer is not 66, y'all. The answer is not 66. So look. The positive quantity JKL, 88% of J equals 32% of L. Best way to increase reading is to make sure your grammar is right. We have almost 100 people in the stream. Make sure to like the stream. Guys, make sure that you are locked in for tomorrow, guys. All right? I believe in every single one of you, okay? I believe in absolutely every single one of you. Without a doubt, you guys are getting a 1600, okay? You guys are getting a 1600. You guys are getting a 1600 tomorrow, guys. I've never had 81 people in my stream, y'all. I'm hyped. All right. Actually, I have. Y'all, I used to be a streamer back in the day. Y'all don't know the lore. But before Tutored by Design, bro, I was Trickster on Twitch. All right? I was going crazy in Fortnite and Valorant, bro. I used to play in, like, those Friday Fortnite tournaments. No, not Friday Fortnite. Bro, this is so off topic. All right, chill. So, look. 44% of K is 95% of L, right? And then we have that K. We have what percent of K? Well, what percent of K? P% of K, right? Is equal to 3 times J. Bang. You have your 3 equations. You're going into Desmos and typing them in. All you have to do is you put... Oh, so this should say 88% of K. Sorry. It should say 80% of J. And this should say 44% of K. So you just put this into Desmos. In the left bracket goes the left side of each equation. So 44% of K. And then P% of K. And then you put a little squiggly line, and you put 32% of L, 32% of L, comma 95% of L, comma 3J. And then bang, the percentage is 50.53. So what's the closest percentage? It's 51, right? Twitch stream SAT prep, nah, bro. I was wilding. I was actually wilding back in the day, bro. I was a tweaker. I used to I would cry when I would lose a game of Fortnite, bro. I was a crash out, dude. I would get into games with pros on accident, and if I were to be in a pro game with a pro, and I would defeat them. I don't want to say that word, but I would defeat them. I would go crazy, bro. I would start hyperventilating. There was a time where I 3v1'd a pro team, and I was actually going buck wild, bro. Actually hog wild, dude. That was my true passion, bro. Tutoring came after this, bro. Back when I was 12, bro, that was my true passion, y'all. Crazy Twitch stream, bro. I actually thought I was gonna make it. I could have made it, bro. Trust. I made a good amount of money, bro. Random people would donate to me. Anyway. All right, yo, are we doing this crazy cylinder question, y'all? Y'all, we're doing it. All right, I have so many questions in my freaking email. While we're doing this, I'm gonna make the what's next. So look. All right, next question, y'all, and I'm gonna make the what's next. Send me your questions because I'm making it right now. So if you want me to put it in, lock in advanced math tips, lock in on Desmos. This is an advanced math tip. You might see a question just like this one. You might see a question just like this one. Are you going to twerk for the stream? Yo, if I get 1,000 live viewers, I will twerk for the stream. Yeah. Yo, send me in your questions, y'all. I want some English questions. Y'all keep sending me math. You send it to contact@tutorbydesign.com or it's literally in the description of this. Literally in the description of this. All right, we're doing this. Oh my God, I love this question, y'all. Whoever sent me this one about the coins, logically complete the text. We're doing that one next. That's on deck. Then we'll do. I'm not doing this one about freaking Jack and Kevin. Whoever's lying to you and telling you that's going to be on the test, they're just trying to scare you. All right. There's no point in me doing that. It's not going to be on the test. That one's good too. I'll do crazy graph question. Let's see. Bro sent me a whole album of questions. I'll pick the ones that actually might show on the test. Weird graph. Weird math graphing. Bro got friend zoned by that girl and he got the SAT tomorrow. He's cooked. Oh, I like these questions. Sum of solutions. No, product of solutions. Triangle in a circle. Y'all, is this a W on deck? Is this a W on deck for y'all? I'm not doing that one because it's easy. All right. Whoever sent me this one with all the files, the answer for number 145 is you can easily just change it into, well, A and B could be, you could just do a regression with it. All right, look. All right. Why am I getting an ad, y'all? All right, let's see. So, is this a W? Wait, let's see if anyone else sent me before I Oh, that's a good question. I'll do this one too. Circles on a graph. All right, let's see. So the table shows the volume of two similar solids, right circular cylinder A and right circular cylinder B. The radius of right circular cylinder A is 3 units. The surface area of right circular cylinder A is k pi square units, and the surface area of right circular cylinder B is n pi, where k and n are constants. What is the value of n minus k? So what I can do for this is I know that the volume equals pi r squared h, right? And I know that surface area is 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r h, right? And so we have that I can figure out the height of this one, of the right circular cylinder A, by saying 72 pi equals pi times the radius of 3 squared times h, right? So 72 pi equals 9 pi h. And so I would cross these pi's out, divide both by 9, and you would get that 8 equals h. Okay, great. So now I can figure out the surface area, right? I can say that the surface area is 2 pi times 3 squared plus 2 pi times 3 times 8, right? And so you're going to get, what is that? It's going to be 18 pi plus, what's 6 times 8 plus 48 pi? Correct me if I'm wrong. You get 66 pi. So this is 66 pi. Now look, you can try to figure out the same thing for the other one, but it's a waste of time. All you have to do is this. What did the volume multiply by here? This is scale factor. What did the volume multiply by? Yeah, scale factor that thing. Scale factor that thing. So look, 4608 divided by 72 is what the volume multiplied by. The volume multiplied by 64. So remember, if I multiply my side lengths by s, the perimeter will multiply by just s, the area will multiply by s squared, and the volume will multiply by s cubed, right? And so I can say if the volume multiplied by 64, then the s cubed is equal to 64. And so the s is just 4. And so if the s is 4, then the area will multiply by 4 squared, which is 16. So the new area, or the new area of the new one, is just 66 times 16. 66 times 16. Oh my goodness, you guys can't see what I'm writing. Look. Yeah. Okay. Can I just scroll down? No, I can't. I can't extend the page. Whatever. All right, so it's 990. So this one's 990. So what's the positive difference between the two coefficients? It's just 990 minus 66. 990 minus 66. You get 924. Yo, someone send me some hard grammar questions, y'all. I'm looking for hard grammar questions. First person to send me hard grammar questions gets a cookie. All right? I'm trying to do some hard grammar questions, y'all. Please. Partial graph g vector, which equation to define function g. How do you send a question? Y'all, it is literally in the freaking chat. The email that you must send a question to is in this, is in the, yo, can I pin something? Can I pin a message? Let's see. Oh my God, I can. Email questions. Yo, I'm an idiot. Email questions to contact at tutoredbydesign.com. How do I pin? Yo, no, ain't no way I can't pin it. Why can't I pin this question, bruh? Someone else type it. Why can't I pin this? Not at 1056 n is 66. Nope. 66 990 plus 66. You added n plus. Oh no, it's nope. 990k is 1056. N is 1056. N is whatever. Nope. What's 66 times 16? Oh, it's 1056. Oh, why did I get 990? I must have plugged in 15. Yeah, I accidentally wrote the wrong number. I have Desmos on my other screen. I wrote 15 instead of 16. It's 1056. You're right. So this becomes 1056 pi. So it becomes 990, not 924. Anyway. Okay. Y'all. Okay. Next person to send me a hard geometry question, you're getting bumped up to the top of the list. All right. Because I'm sick of doing all these questions. We're doing some geometry. Or not geometry, grammar. But first I'll do this other one. So let's logically complete the text. Let's see. Who sent me the logically complete the text one? Let's see. Y'all, I do compete in DECA, and I will see you all at ICDC. All right? I do compete in DECA, and I will see you all at ICDC. Or if you live in Florida, I will see you at States. Yo, imagine I'm just standing at DECA States, and I just start getting crowded around. Oh my God, is that Tutored by Design? Nah, I'm not a celebrity, y'all. Chill. Yo, why is it not freaking showing? Oh my God. Whatever. All right. After this, we're doing a grammar question. I know this is cut off a little, but after this, we're doing a grammar question. On deck is grammar. Okay, this is a logically complete text. And then after this is grammar plus grammar. This one's low-key an easy one, y'all. I swear I've seen you. If you're in Florida, you've seen me. Or if you were at ICDC, you saw me. I low-key got cooked at ICDC. We got like top 60. I was pissed. I'm actually bringing it home this year, y'all. I'm bringing it home for myself, my chapter, my team, everyone. Yo, are you all in DECA? Yo, the smart people are all in DECA. All the people that are getting 1600s are in DECA. If you are not a senior already, like if it's not too late to join clubs in your school and you want to become intelligent and rich and like successful, bro, join DECA. Like that's all, like that's it. I'm the president of my DECA chapter. All right, look, that's enough time for you guys to try to answer it. So it's already 7:46. Oh my god, bro. Oh my god. We are going to ICDC. Bro, I look, he did good. I mean, I got top 60. We did good at states. We got like a 95 on our states role play. Me and my teammate, our role play is so good. It's so good. Like at districts, we got like a 99, and at states, we got like a 93. But we don't study for the test, so we don't do that well. At ICDC, I studied for the test. I got an 85. I was pretty hyped. Like I studied for one day, and I got an 85. Anyway, yeah, bro, creating a DECA chapter is not that hard. Mine started a while ago. I do a lot for my DECA chapter because my advisor's kind of hands off, and like it's so easy, bro. Anyway, trusting SAT answers, bro. Yo, this is a comment of shame, bro. Why couldn't I freaking pin this chat? I don't know why. Yo, look. Yo, I'm giving a cookie to anyone that posts this exact comment in the chat. To anyone that copy and paste that exact comment in the chat. So I can comment it. What event? I did PFL for 2 years now. I'm doing FTDM last year and this year. I went to ICDC for FTDM. Yo, let's lock in on this question. All right, look. An analysis of these people and colleague of coins minted in this place in the 5th and 4th century BCE reveal a change in their composition over time. A coin from this time contains 98% silver and 1% copper. And a coin from 367 BCE, 67, contains 74.2% silver and 24.7% copper, giving it a relatively yellowish appearance that I think it says critics, or maybe it's traders, something like that, would have noticed. Because coins with a silver content below 80% were widely considered unsuitable for trade, these people speculate that a crisis in confidence in the currency occurred. So basically, it went from 98% silver to 74% silver, and below 80% silver is cooked. So there was a problem here, right? They speculate that a crisis in confidence occurred, which was likely relieved despite Sidon's persistent oppressive financial obligations as a result of this person's decision to do something that's going to increase the silver concentration, right? So he proclaims that a suitable for trade would be raised to a threshold higher than 80%. If the silver's at 75% and this guy says now it needs to be higher than 80%, well, it's already cooked. So why are you going to make it higher? Right? That's not very smart, right? So that's wrong. Keep the amount of silver consistent with that of coins minted in 367 but decrease the rate? Yes. If we keep the amount in there the same but decrease the actual weight, then the percentage of silver would increase, right? The percentage of increase would increase, right? If I begin minting heavier coins with a proportion of silver to copper similar to that in 367, well, in 367 it was 74.2%. That's not enough. Fund the mining of some copper deposits. I don't want copper. I want silver. So that's wrong. Yo, ain't no way you're in FTDM. Yo, am I cooked? I look, you might get cooked. I don't even care about placing at ICDC. I just want to I do. I want to get a top 3 placing, but I really just want to make it there again this year. Then I'll worry about doing well at ICDC once I get to that place. I mean, obviously, I think I will, but I don't know. My state's low-key competitive for FTDM. 1560 on practice SAT 7. What would I get on my real test? I don't know, like a 1530, 1520. I don't know. It depends, bro. Maybe you'll get a 1560. What are my chances? I don't know, bro. I don't know. On what test did you just get a 1530? I'm top 20. Nah, I'm cooked. Yeah, I'm cooked. I got 60. We got 60th at ICDC. Bro, it's because we sold our role play so hard, bro. We sold our role play so hard. It's whatever. All right, look. Let's go. Next question. We're doing crazy graph question. Let's do... Yo, why is this so small? I'm way behind on these questions. I'm going way too slow. I need to lock in and get these questions answered. Yo, do y'all want a crazy angle question? We're doing it, y'all. I'm I'm changing. Oh no, someone sent me a grammar question. I said I would put it to the front. Who sent me that grammar question? All right, I see. All right, let's see. All right. Okay. All right, then we're doing a crazy angle question. All right. What do we do on these questions, guys? I'm gonna give you a hint. Yo, by the way, guys, before we start, you know I have to plug. All right, I have to plug. So listen, starting tomorrow, registration will open for my group between October and December. If you are taking the November or December SAT and you are trying to lock in, this group will help you so much. I literally, in my October group, which was only 3 weeks, went through every single topic that has ever been on the test. All right, like, let me just show you a lesson plan from like a singular session. This is what we cover in a singular session in this group, okay? If you are trying to score top, this session is for you. It'll work for November or December testers. It's going to open soon. Lock in. All right, it's going to open tomorrow. Anyway, let's get into this question. So when you have a question where it's the same word, different punctuation, you split it wherever the punctuation is. If there's a transition word, you just cross it out, and here's what you do. You say, would the sentence make sense if I read up until the word information? Using satellite remote sensing, Dr. Catherine Nakamb, whatever. Oh, actually, no, I would start from here. Nakalembi doesn't just compile the information. That makes sense as its own sentence. So that's independent. Then you start from the next sentence. So she also shares her finding with African farmers, enabling them to make data-driven decisions about managing critical food crops. That also works. They're both independent. So I need a period, a semicolon, a comma. Yo, I'm about to put y'all. Yo, I didn't even show y'all this. Bro, this is the most W infographic you'll ever see when it comes to this. Hold on. It's not an infographic. That's the wrong word. So look, when we have this scenario, this is what we do. If it's independent to independent, it can only be one of these options. Okay? So it can't be B, it can't be C or D, sorry. So it has to be C or A. Now the question is, what does though mean? Though is showing a contrast. So we put the though in whatever portion is contrasting the previous one. This one's contrasting the one before because it says she gathers important data, and then it says in the next sentence she doesn't just compile it. Right? So we would put a though before the semicolon. Even more so, C is wrong because it doesn't have a comma after though. If you have a transition word, it has to have a punctuation like on both sides of it if you have a transition word. So instantly that one was wrong. Someone who took school SAT said the cylinder question with the yeah, bro, they ask that cylinder question so much. I don't know why. They love it. Because they're lazy, bro. It's because they're lazy. All right, y'all. We're about to do a question that is on my document of questions. It low-key is missing an answer choice. I don't know what the other answer choice is, but I guess it's not right. Yo, what do y'all think about this question? Have y'all done this question yet? Yo, we have almost 100 people in the stream, y'all. Almost 100 people in the stream. That's tough. Y'all are so locked in for the SAT. I didn't know y'all were locked in like this. I did a cylinder question like 20 minutes ago. All right, y'all. What do you think? Y'all like this question? Do you guys like this question? Okay, after this, we have to do a crazy graph question, guys. We have to do... Oh, should I make it bigger? Hold up. All right, that's better. All right. Sorry, guys. Sorry. All right, that's good. All right. In the figure, parallel lines A and B are intersected by C and D and E. What the heck? Okay, so we know that it says A and B are parallel. Okay, and so now it says Z is 49, Y is 136, and V is less than Z. So I'm going to just say that V is some random angle that's less. So I'll make it like 40. All right. Now I know what must be true about X and Y, X and W. So what I could say is that, all right, well, if this is 136, let me just find like all the angles. So like if this angle is 40, this angle is also 40 because of, what's it called? Because of I can't think of the word. Corresponding angles, like these are the same angle. And then this angle, because this makes a linear pair with 136, this angle is 44. And so these two angles add up to 84. So this angle then is, what is that angle? 180 minus 84. So it's 96, because these have to make a triangle. So this is 96. Now we're going to kind of do the same thing with W. So if this is 49, then this is 49, right? That's also vertical angles or corresponding angles. So this one's 49 because of vertical angles. And then also I know that this one is 136. So this one is what, 44 again. And so this one becomes 180 minus 44 minus 49, which is 180 minus 44 minus 49 is 91. And so this one's 91, right? So we get that x is greater than w. X is greater than w is B. Yo, this question is 92% chance not showing up on the test, but it has shown up previously. It has shown up previously, this question. It was an experimental question in like June or March, okay? And you know they like to put those experimental questions back on the test. For example, this question that you guys might have seen on the on the September SAT or August, this is not an experimental question, guys. If you got this question wrong, bro, it counted towards your score because they showed this question. They showed this question on one of the SATs prior to that. So this question might show up. If you see this, it's not experimental, guys. All right. Anyway. Okay. Are we doing a hard graph question? Are we doing a hard graph question for English? Are we doing English? Are we doing an English question, guys? English or math? English or Spanish? English or Spanish, guys? You guys have 2 seconds to decide. 2 seconds to decide. 2 seconds to decide. SATs in 2 hours. I can't find the question which had like 2 chords inside the circle and it made a triangle. How do you find the length of some line and add a formula of a over 4? I do not know what you are referring to here. Specify? I don't know. English? I bet. I bet. Y'all want some English? All right. We'll do that. Get a good 8 hours. Yeah. Yo, why is this so small? All of this stuff is so tiny. Oh, okay. I see. I don't know if I've done this ever. So we're going to do it right now. Actually, let me make this bigger. Actually, whatever. All right. Bang. 100 viewers in the stream. That is a W. Yo, you guys are locked in for the SAT. If you have questions, email them to contact@tutoredbydesign.com. It is in the chat. Okay? It is in the chat. Yo, someone, if any of you can literally just type in the chat. Email contact@tutoredbydesign.com, tutoredbydesign.com with questions. You'll get a cookie because it doesn't let me pin it if I write it. Someone else has to write it. Okay, anyway. Actually, why don't I just leave it up here? I'm such an idiot. I don't need someone to put it in the chat. I'll just leave it here. Okay, whatever. So, let's see. So, why is it in top chat and not in live chat? Maybe that's the problem. All right, whatever. So, this question... Sorry, I got distracted by my phone. Y'all, it is hard to not get distracted by your phone when you're studying for the SAT. All right, look. So high levels of public uncertainty about which economic policies a country will adopt can make planning difficult for businesses, but measures of such uncertainty have not tended to be very detailed. So, like, it's hard to figure out what's going to go on if we don't have a measure of what the economic policies will be, and it's hard to even figure out, like, how to measure the uncertainty. We can't even measure how uncertain we'll be, right? So then we have... I can probably zoom in on the actual text, but I probably won't be able to zoom in on the answer choice. Let's see. It's like the same size. It's a little bigger. All right, that's better. All right. So for this one, we have... Okay. So we can't measure uncertainty. No measure uncertainty. No measure of it. That doesn't make sense. Let's just say no measure of it. Okay. Recently, however, economists Sandile whatever analyzed trends in news reports to derive measures not only for general economic policy uncertainty, but also for uncertainty related for specific areas of economic policy, like tax or trade. So he actually figured out a way to like check the uncertainty, right? Good man. One revelation of her work is that a general measure may not fully reflect uncertainty about specific areas of policy, as in the case of United Kingdom, where general economic policy uncertainty what? So it says she realized that a general measure may not fully reflect uncertainty. And I'm going to say where it looks like sometimes there's like a very discrepant, actually, let's do this. Let me get a better picture of this, of the graph, so that you guys can see what I'm doing. Let's see. It's actually mad annoying. Okay. Oh my god. I'm about to crash out. Okay, this is the graph. Now it's too big. I'm actually going to tweak. Alright. So look, it's saying that this the general policy cannot actually fully reflect uncertainty about specific areas. Because look, this general economic policy, which is this one, is sometimes far away from the other ones, right? Like in 2010, it's very, very low, right? So it was substantially lower. I would pick B. It was substantially lower than uncertainty about tax and public spending policy each year from 2005 to 2010. Actually, I'm not going to pick that yet. Sorry. So it was substantially lower in 2005, right? Than trade policy in 2005, and substantially higher than uncertainty about trade policy in 2010. Yeah, so it's D. It doesn't always correctly determine the uncertainty of like other things, right? And those two examples of 2005 where it was much lower and 2010 where it was much higher help prove that, right? Yo, someone sent me a grammar question. Someone sent me a grammar question. Someone sent me a grammar question. Someone sent me. Surface area and volume for cones question. How do I do that? Surface area and volume for cones, bro. You're not gonna see that, bro. Who's telling you this, bro? They're lying, dude. Let's do this. Surface area of cone. There ain't no way you have to do this, bro. I'm telling you, bro, there's no way you have to do this, bro. Actually, I shouldn't say no way, because then y'all are gonna flame me if I'm wrong. But bro, if you're so confident you have to do it, then just memorize this, bro, because you don't have to do this. It's basically just a cylinder, except this is the radius. Like, it's the same exact thing of like pi r squared h, 2 pi r squared, except it's just 1 pi r squared because it's one base, plus 2 pi r h, except it's only one pi r h because of the fact that you don't have like a top and a bottom. And also, I think it actually has to do with this. Something you could also do is just derive the surface area. They would give you the surface area of it. They would give you the surface area. Guys, if they ask you this question, they're going to give you the equation for the surface area of a cone. And then they're just going to tell you, like, you're going to have to find the L, the slant height, by doing, like, whatever. By doing a Pythagorean theorem. Yes, international gets different questions. So if that was on international, very unlikely it's going to be on your test. That's another thing to think about. The questions are similar, though. All right. Who is getting their question answered next? Guys? Yo, guys, in the subject, put the topic of the question so I can see. All right? Email questions to contact@tutoredbydesign.com. Copy, paste from the description. Make the header the type of question. Let's make this bigger. Yo, I'm gonna have to go soon, guys. It is getting late. Guys. Let's see if this looks fine. All right, yeah, that's fine. Okay. Standard English conventions. Yo, let's get some hard standard English conventions out here, guys. Send me some questions. I'm like low-key too lazy to look through them. Guys. I don't want to go through them. Angelica, I covered that question yesterday and today in both sessions that we did. Standard English conventions is literally the easiest section, y'all. I'm not even rage baiting. It's the easiest section on the whole test. Math and English combined. Y'all. This is pieces and lay in bed, go to sleep, don't even think about it. Lock in tomorrow. All right, there are like 6 comma rules. Yo, should I walk you guys through every single comma rule? Nah. All right, bro. This is a common classic example of title, name, verb. We have the title of entomologist. We have the name of Heather Grab. And then we have the verb of found. You don't use any commas. Bro. No commas, bro. Title, name, verb is no commas. Come on, y'all. Come on. This is a W question, y'all. Y'all, don't flame whoever sent this. Come on, guys. Come on. Everyone has their own struggles. Oh, is this a W question, guys? Yo, I low-key skipped all the questions that were sent to me earlier. I should low-key do them. All right, guys, out of these questions, which one should I do? Out of these questions, I should do them first. Which one should I do here? Which ones come from this? Oh, I'll do a complex this one. I'll do a good complex this one. I have it ready. But out of these questions, which one should I do? Because I low-key skipped over them and I feel bad. Let's see. I wish I could play music. Do y'all know if I can play music on a live stream on YouTube? I don't know. Low-key. I don't want to get banned. If I get banned on YouTube, I'm cooked. I'm not answering this question. Triangle in a circle. All right, bet. Let's do triangle in a circle. Yo, W question or L question, y'all? W question or L question? W question or L question? After we get through these, which we'll probably end up skipping some of them, but like, copyrighted. What's copyrighted? It's not a bad thing. Do you have a tip for each? Bro, just search up 1,000. No way. They deleted this. What do you mean the whole thread? Like they deleted bro. Nah. Are we trolling? r/SAT. Nah. Ain't no way they got copyright strike that fast. No, they didn't delete it. What are you talking about? How is there a school day SAT in October, y'all? All right, let's do this one quick. So I've done this one before, bro. BC, I don't know where this question's from. BC is 132. AB is root 363. And then we have that, what is BC over BD? So look, if I know this is a right triangle because it touches a diameter, right? So like this is 180 degrees. And remember that in a circle, if this is 90 degrees, then this hole will be 180 degrees. Okay, that's the inscribed angle theorem. I'll just show you really quick. Let me pull up a good one. Like, see, inscribed angle theorem. This angle will be half of this angle, which will also, this angle is on that angle. Take a picture or something. All right. So look, 10 questions. Guys, are we for real? Are we rage baiting? All right, look. So if I want to find BC over BD, I'm thinking that, all right, what I could just do is figure out the length of each of these triangles, like each of these points in these triangles. So in this triangle, first of all, I can find AC by saying, let's just call this x. X squared plus root 363 squared equals 132 squared. It was 132 squared. And so I'm just going to solve this really quickly. 132 squared minus 363 squared. You get, or square root 363. So you get 132 squared. So you get x squared is equal to 17,061. Does that square root perfectly? 17,061. It doesn't. So this is the square root of 17,061. So then you could just say that like this BD is this BD. If I don't want to like waste so much time explaining this because it's probably going to confuse you guys. But if I look at this triangle compared to the big triangle of like the whole thing, they both have angle B in them. They both have a right angle, and so they're both what's the word? They're both similar. So like BD would match up with like I could say this is root 363. This is a lot of work. I can say this is root 363. I can say that this is what is this? I can say that this is x, and then I can say that this is 132 root 17061, and this is root 363 again. So then I could just say small over big equals small over big. Y'all gotta know this. Small over big equals small over big. So I'm gonna take this small side from this smaller triangle, so root 363, over the big side in the other triangle that's across from the right angle. So both of the angles across from the right angles. Set it equal to this small side of x that's across from A. So x over, it would be the side across from the C. So over root 363. And so you would get what? Root 363 over, or times root 363 over 132. You would get some answer for x, right? And then you would just say that this is 132 minus x. So I'm going to just do this here. So I'll say, what the heck, guys? I'll say that, this is a low-key confusing question, but I'll say that this just becomes 363 over 132 is one of them. And then the other one is just 132 minus, it's just 2.75. So BC over BD is just 132 over 2.75. So 48. Low-key, not an OR question. Not an OR question. Y'all, standard deviation is easy. All right, listen. This question is, bro. Guys, I don't know who, maybe it's me, bro. Maybe I'm the problem. But this question, guys, is not likely to show up on the test. I hope you guys understand this. That it is not likely to show up on the test. This is a hard question, guys. Okay? The most unhinged hack for geometry is just quit. Everything can be split up into triangles if it's a shape. All right? Every shape can be split up into triangles. All right? Inscribed shapes, no. Inscribed shapes a lot of the time are similar triangles or 30, 60, 90 triangles. Okay? Or 30, 60, 90 triangles. All right? Look, we're about to do a hard grammar question. All right, I'm about to pull up the hardest one that actually, this isn't the hardest one I could find, but it's kind of hard. Let's do this. Let's pull it up over here so that I can zoom it in. All right. Get all this out of here. It's already 8:15, bro. That's crazy. I said I was going to only be on for an hour and a half. All right. No, I don't want to do this question. This isn't the question I meant to do. Gosh darn it. It's this one. W question, L question, thoughts? 1600 tomorrow? Of course, y'all. We're all getting 1600 tomorrow. Well, I'm not taking it, but y'all, you guys are all getting a 1600. Yo, I'm actually so mad, bro. I can't freaking take the SAT until March. I'm taking the SAT again in March, bro. I can't wait till the second I can sign up again for the SAT. Literally. I can't wait for the day. cannot wait for the day. Do I go to Newark Academy? No. No. I do not live in New York, guys. Or anywhere near New York. Bro thinks he saw my doppelganger. All right. The world's many geothermal power plants leverage an array of blank. Right? Leverage an array of blank. Now we say, I'm interested here because I see a semicolon here and I see a semicolon here. And it says, in Mexico, this happens. And then it says, and in the US, this happens. So I'm thinking that I think I have a complex list here, guys. And so in that complex list, it should have parallelism. So I have in Mexico this, in US this. So I want the third part to have in New Zealand, blah, blah, blah. In New Zealand, the NGA, blah, 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 blah. So in New Zealand should go, like, there should not be, actually, let's just leave it there. Now, what do I do here? What do I do here? Well, what I do is you just write, why is bro asking if I go to Newark Academy if he knows what, if he knows that I don't go to Newark Academy? Goon question, bro. Are you rage baiting me? Anyway, so yeah, it's D because we said that the many geothermal power plants leverage an array of technologies, and then we explain what those technologies are. We explain what the technologies are. Yes, we introduce the idea that they leverage an array of technologies, and then we explain examples of like those technologies, right? Yo, what type of question should I do? I low-key have so many in my Gmail, bro. How do I get a 1550 plus? Make sure you goon tonight. Make sure you goon tomorrow morning, and then goon during the test. Can I even say that? I don't know. It doesn't matter, y'all. But actually, to get a 1550 plus, what's your score right now? It depends. If your score is below a 1450 right now, and you want a 1550, and you haven't been studying really hard, you're cooked. I'm struggling for a 700 in English. You have to study vocab and grammar. You have to study vocab and grammar. Okay? I'm in high school right now. I'm still locked in, y'all. I'm locked in with all of you. You're taking the SAT in 20 minutes. Good luck, bro. I'm not going to still be on live after. What am I talking about? I was going to say, if I'm still, yeah, like, thanks. You could try starting now. Like, you could try to get locked in now. But, like, definitely before tomorrow, at least, like, 3 times. At least. All right. On the SAT, if they ask a question about cylinder surface area, will they give that formula? They don't have to. For cone, they definitely would. For cylinder, they usually do. Okay, what question should I do next, y'all? Someone asked me, can I do a question purely with Desmos? I sent it twice, so they must want me to do it. Yes, you can do this with Desmos only. Okay, so what I could do is just put into Desmos a table. This is like a waste to do it in Desmos though. Like, I could say if f of 32, it says if f of 32 is greater than 0. This should say greater than 0. Greater than 0. I'm low-key sick of doing math. I never thought I would be. It's greater than 0. So I could make like 32 comma like 10. And then like 35 comma like negative 10. And then like 38 comma 10 again. And then write like y1 is equivalent to a or x1 minus a times x1 minus b. Obviously that won't give me my answer though. But if I write a plus b, oh, it works perfectly. But then I guess it doesn't work because that's not an answer choice. So I have to like check the other values. So then you have to, bro, like this is such a waste. It's such a waste to do this not do this by hand. You can make this like k, t, and p and start trying to mess around with all of them. But that's like, you would have to create sliders for k and p and t. So like k equals negative 1. T equals whatever. T equals, let's say, or equals positive 1. Like t equals negative 1, and then p equals like positive 3. Like, I don't know. And then you have to like move this around and see what it could possibly be. So it looks like it might be able to be 69. I might be able to get it to be 69. Yeah. Yeah, 69 right there. Yeah, I think it's 69. I don't know. I would not do this in Desmos. I would do this by hand. But it's probably 69. That's my guess. Okay, yo, someone send me an English question, please. I'm sick of math. I'm sick of math, guys. Email to this email, y'all. To this email, y'all. To this email. All right. Chat, I have to log off soon. Please do at least one of the two I sent. Let's see. Which ones did you send? That one's too easy. Where's the other one you sent? Where'd it go? Oh. So easy. Infinitely many solutions just means they're the same exact graph. So I'm putting it straight into Desmos. 12x1 plus 28 over 4 plus minus s over 13 is equivalent, using a squiggly line because I want to guess the value of r and s, to r times x1 minus 8. And then I'm going to make a list for x1. What's the value of s? It's 403. Yeah. What? I'm sorry for leaking the Addy. What? Whose Addy is getting leaked? What are we doing, bro? Are we leaking addresses in this chat, bro? You're about to get banned. Who is leaking addresses in this chat, bro? Relax yourselves, guys. All right. The list makes sure that this works for every value of x. The list makes sure that this works for every value of x. If you don't put in a list, it's only going to check using one value of x, and a lot of times that means it's wrong. Just make a list of like 5 numbers, okay? It doesn't matter if you, like, there's technically a way to figure out how many you need, but it'll always be, if you put 5 in, that'll always be enough. All right? That'll always be enough. Yes, learn to condense long passages. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you guys that you guys need to know how to do that. All right, someone send me an English question. I'm about to crash out if I don't get through English question. Who just emailed me this, bro? No question, by the way. No question in this email, bro. Who just this is what the email said. I don't go to. You're actually rage baiting me, bro. I don't live anywhere near New Jersey, y'all. I don't live anywhere near New Jersey, y'all. How can I don't need to prove it, but I go to Newark Academy, y'all. You guys are gonna make me tweak. Someone send me an English question, please. I need to do an English question. Has in 15 minutes. Any last minute tips? Get off of this live stream and go read the news. Struggling information and ideas and structure and math. I do for data analysis and problem solving. Any tips to do, especially for inference and command of evidence? You have to summarize every question sentence by sentence. After each sentence, you should understand what did the sentence just say and summarize it, right? And summarize it. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Y'all would know that I'm in Florida, bro. Y'all are tweaking. You guys are going to make me tweak, bro. Please. All right. Information ideas. Someone send me an information ideas question. I'll do it. Actually, I'll do it, bro. We're doing one. I don't care. I low-key do this question so often, but it's fun. Actually, I've never done this one. I've never done this one in my life. That one's way too small. Holy moly. Hold on. I got to move it over here. All right. No, type it or say it in your head. 70 viewers. We low-key hit 100 earlier. That was tough. Yo, Rocket. Relax yourself, bro. Come on. Best food to eat on test day? Best food to eat on test day. There's something so bland that it could not mess up your stomach. Like, I'm trying to think. Maybe like rice. Rice could... Bro, you're not going to eat rice in the morning. Why should I read the news in the morning? Because it will help you get your brain warmed up. All right, how are we locking in on this question, y'all? How are we locking in on this information and ideas question, guys? How much longer should I stay on live, guys? It's almost 8:30. I've literally, guys, I'm so serious. In the last 2 days, I have tutored for over 20 hours. And I'm so serious. I have tutored for over 20 hours. Okay, I need a break, guys. I need a rest. All right, I need to rest. Okay, this weekend, I'm actually resting, bro. All right. Fruit could mess up your stomach. Maybe eggs. Maybe eggs. Maybe eggs. Water, oatmeal, and apple. That's a W. How much have I made tutoring? I can't leak that, y'all. Never ask a man his salary, guys. Come on. Just know that it's what I love, y'all. It's my passion. Actually, I don't know if it's my passion, but I really like this. I really like tutoring, guys. If you do something you love and enjoy, bro, it's not about the money. It's about what you're doing, bro. It's about the idea, right? I built this. All right, let's go. All right, we want to logically complete the text. So the many editions of this novel, Ulysses, are not textually identical, and scholars debate which versions reflect Joyce's authorial intent. So different versions, and they can't tell what is, they can't tell what it means, right? One no longer widely read edition is the 1984 Critical and Synoptic edition, edited by Hans Walter Gabler, which followed French and German editorial theories rather than editorial traditions of the US and United Kingdom, and which was later found to have introduced errors due to Gabler's choice to consult facsimile manuscripts rather than using only originals. So this just gives an example. This part just gives an example. However, few Joyce scholars worldwide had expertise in such textual issues, and most of those who did worked on the edition with Gabler. So it is unsurmising that initial scholarly reviews of the 1984 edition were mostly what? They were mostly positive, because either one, they were not smart enough to realize that there were errors, or two, they were smart enough, but they were the ones that actually made it, right? So this B and C are wrong, right? B and C are wrong. Now the question is it A or D? Is it A or D? Well, it says here, where is it? So Gabler's choice to consult facsimile manuscripts. However, few Joyce scholars had expertise in such textual issues, and most of those who did worked on the edition with him. So initial scholarly review, the scholars either can't tell the problems or they are the ones making the problems, okay? So they would therefore be more widely reviewed in the US. This was completely unrelated to the passage, completely unrelated. We're talking about if it's more studied in the US or French or German. Don't think that's the answer. All right. Now, for the other one, positive, since scholars who reviewed the 1984 edition were unaffiliated with the production. Yeah, because they had, few Joyce scholars worldwide had expertise in the textual issues, right? They didn't understand the textual issues, right? And so they were largely unfamiliar with editorial theories and practices or specialties in the theories. So yeah, it's D. The scholars were unfamiliar with the textual issues, so obviously they're going to rate it well, right? Please help provide scatter plots. Is a test center, right? GHE test center. What? Is GHE test center right, NOS? What does this mean, guys? What does this mean? Yo, how much was the next test for November SAT? It is $79.99 a month for at minimum 8 hours of group tutoring, at least, as well as full homework assignments, full resources, everything. This month was it was supposed to be 8 hours, and it ended up being 12 because I went overtime. Because when I'm in the flow state, I don't stop. All right. They probably got bored. I would sit on these calls. I was supposed to be you're in the test center right now. W, hop off the stream and read the news. Watching the stream is not going to help you anymore. Go read the news, y'all. Go read the news. I moved on from putting W's, bro. That's fire. That's fire. All right, yo. What question is next? I low-key can't stay on for too much longer. I actually have to lock in. I have calculus homework to do, y'all. I have some differential equations homework to do tonight, y'all. I'm not happy. I'm not happy. I'm low-key cooked. Let's see. All right, I'll see you, Crystal. Let's see. Let's see. I low-key might go after, like, the questions that have been sent. Like, I might finish up with the questions that have been sent and then dip. Because, bro, I've been on live for a long time. Okay? And I low-key have to do work. So, yeah. Okay. So, let's look. I really hate doing all this work for school. Yo, should I drop out, y'all? Should we all drop out? I'm going to make this bigger. Should we all drop out, guys? Should I read before I go to sleep? Yeah, that's a good idea. Should we all drop out of school, y'all? Who needs school anyway? AI is going to replace us. Y'all, I have a business idea that AI will replace everyone. Well, not me, because I'm going to be the one that makes it, but everyone else. But I can't tell y'all how I'm going to do it. That's the secret. All right, let's do this. Bro, there was a question earlier that was 5 hours. All right, try to do this one. Yo, why do I get wrong the questions that I know how to do? Like in the moment on the test, I'm so unfocused, it looks like I'm sleeping. I don't know, bro. Do you have ADHD? That could be it. 1410 on my practice test 9. Can I get a 1400? Yeah, probably. I'm a CS major. Should I go to school? If you're not going to a T20 for CS, you're cooked. Y'all, I can't do like so much college content because I'm like, once I get into good colleges, hopefully, if I'm gonna post so much, because that's, bro, I love talking about college admissions. That's so fun, bro. It's so fun. College admissions is so fun. Don't spam coffee. No, that's gonna make you less focused. I'm gonna be the next Tinio College Prep. Y'all know Tinio College Prep? He follows me, bro. I was so happy when this guy followed me. Bro. This guy's my savior, bro. This guy's my king. All right, let's do this question. So, we want to best state the main idea of the text. If it's a main idea of the text, low key, I should probably summarize every sentence. So, philosophers note that many people have an intuitive sense that while we ought not to lie, there may be circumstances in which lying is permissible. So, we shouldn't lie, but sometimes it makes sense. Right? Thank you, Enzo. Right? Oh, I thought I said I'm more handsome. Yo, Tinio's low-key a dapper dude. I've seen him on live sessions. He's low-key a dapper dude. Pretty smart guy. Very smart guy. If this intuition, I low-key glaze him. If this intuition is correct, by the way, guys, if you're applying to college, I have a free college admissions Discord server. We have almost, I think, last time I checked, it was at like 415 people or something like that. tutorbydesign.com/resources. I'll put it in the chat right now. Actually, I'll just put the invite in the chat. Why not? Put it in the chat right now. All right, look, right there. Free admissions. Talk to me in there. Have some chats. All right, anyway. So we shouldn't lie, but sometimes it makes sense. Wait. No. Why is the invite invalid? Yo, I'm about to make y'all an invite to this Discord server. I don't know why it's not working. That's annoying. What the heck? Did it not work? Oh, it's probably because I already joined. Yo, someone tell me if that invite works, y'all. Otherwise, I'll make a new one. That invite should work. That annoys me if it doesn't work. Anyway, let's do this question, y'all. All right, so let's lock in. Someone tell me, did this link work? Hopefully. I don't know. It should. Okay, anyway. So we shouldn't lie, but sometimes it makes sense. Then I say that if this intuition is correct and we lack an inviolable duty to speak truthfully, what grounds opposition to lying in the first place? So why should we lie? This person has advanced one answer by appealing to a duty to respect others' agential interests. The possession of false belief constrains agency, and thus we ought not to impede the formation of true beliefs unless doing so prevents a greater constraint on someone's agency or an otherwise impermissible end. Yo, Loki, that's a crazy sentence coming out of this guy. What the heck is all that? What the heck is even that? Hold on, I gotta switch to live chat. All right. So, anyway, it's basically saying that philosophers think that we have an intuitive sense that we shouldn't lie, but there's sometimes we can, right? Like, it makes sense to lie sometimes. And then it says that what grounds our opposition to lying in the first place? So what grounds opposition? So if this intuition is correct, right? Why shouldn't we lie at all, right? He's advanced one answer by appealing to a duty of respect. We should respect others. So this is like, why shouldn't we always lie, right? It's because we should respect others, a gentle interest, right? And that false beliefs constrains agency, right? It constrains agency. And that we shouldn't impede on true beliefs, right? Unless doing so prevents greater constraints. This is the general strategy. Is you summarize it like this. You summarize it exactly like this, y'all. This is literally the strategy. I'm putting y'all on the strategy right now. That's all you have to do. Okay, this is the strategy. By the way, guys, send me questions now, because after this, I'm probably going to stop taking questions, because I low-key do have to go. And y'all got to get to sleep. It's already 8:30 p.m. For some of you, it's like early in the morning, and you have your test soon. So, lock in, y'all. Lock in. Let's see. Yeah, I'm low-key getting distracted by my phone. I'm getting bored. All right, I'm not getting bored, but I'm getting tired. My brain is getting tired. So look, what's the main idea of the text? It's that, I don't know, let's read the answer. One potential means of justifying opposition to lying is that we have an obligation to respect other people's agency that entails a commitment to truthfulness accepted in a certain circumstance. I think it's A. That's like very close to what this is, right? Many people have an intuitive sense that lying is permissible in some circumstances, but lack a principled way to identify the circumstances, and it may provide a means of resolving that problem. I think this could be a 2. I think it might not be because it's too specific on a single sentence. For C, the argument suggests that if we have a duty to respect other people's opinions, whatever, this doesn't refer to like this first part, right? Like we have to also include that first part here. This argument shows that blah, blah, blah. I would also probably put this as wrong. So many people have an intuitive sense of why we ought not to lie. Okay, so this makes sense. I think it's B. Lack of principled way to identify those circumstances. And this person's argument may provide a mean of resolving that problem. Yes, but I feel like that doesn't say what is that means. Like it's maybe not specific enough. This is low-key a good question. Am I stumped? I hate getting stumped. So far today, I haven't been stumped. I think I'm 3 for 3 of not being stumped on the last 3 months of live streams. Could this be the day I get stumped? One potential mean of justifying opposition lying. Truthfulness. I think it's this because the A only summarizes one of the sentences, right? Right? And I think that this one summarizes all of them. Low key. Could I be wrong? Possibly. Let's find out. Whoever sent it, tell me am I right or wrong. Even if I'm right. Even if I'm wrong, pretend I'm right. Anyway. Okay, send me this. Let's do a last batch of questions. If you have any questions that you've already emailed me and I didn't answer, it's because if you sent them after 8:24 p.m., I'm going to answer them otherwise. Send me questions now and then I will do them. Okay? Oh my god, I have 3 questions in my spam. Why do I have that? No, that trick is horrendous. I don't know why people think that trick works, but it doesn't. Of just read the first and last sentence. Do not ever do that, guys. That is the worst idea ever. Okay, worst idea ever. Because no, that's a bad idea. After Egypt, your content just appeared to me when I was watching your DSAT videos. Your explanation is perfect. Of course, bro. I realized that like there are so many international students that like are so locked in on the test. For you international students, if you think studying for the SAT is hard, I have met so many international students that literally study for like 20 to 40 hours a week for the SAT. And you think that your 2 to 4 hours a week is a lot? Come on. Come on. Let's be for real, y'all. Let's be for real. I respect all the international students that literally devote their whole summer to studying for the SAT. It's aura. Anyway, let's look. Okay, there's this question. It's low-key small, but whatever. Can we read? I guess I could do this. It's just tough. She occasionally. No, it does not. That does not work. Oh yeah, it does. Look at that. Okay. Bang. Y'all should be able to see the whole thing. All right. Digital artist, Jung, whatever, blah, blah, blah. To manifest the warm and welcoming. Okay, so by the way, here's what we do. Same words, different punctuation. We're going to cross out the transition word and read up to the word work. We're going to say, to manifest the warm and welcoming atmospheres that are signature for work. That doesn't work as its own sentence. It's dependent. Then we skip over the transition. We read, she occasionally relies on more traditional art techniques, such as painting with watercolors. That is independent. So dependent to independent. What's our only option is a comma, right? So instantly it can't be D, it can't be C, right? And so A or B. If we ever have a transition, it has to be in between punctuation marks. So the only option here is A. Bang. Right? Oh, it was A? Wow. Wow, I was stumped. Wow. Let's look at that. Let's see. So then why is it not B? Many people have an intuitive sense that lying is permissible in some circumstances, but lack of principle way to identify the circumstances, and this person argument may provide a means of resolving it. Maybe it doesn't resolve it. He has an argument. It doesn't resolve it. I guess that's why. It's a hard question, dude. This is a very hard question. Very hard question. Okay, let's see. Someone sent me scatter plots and also got sent to my spam. Not spam. Help provide scatter plots. Send me an example. All right, let's see. All right, last batch of questions. All right, let's see. No, it won't work. So let's do this. Okay, last batch of questions. Email your questions. If there's like actual questions you want me to solve, to contact@tutorbydesign.com. Do you think it's better to start with grammar questions or do it the normal way? Anything that has the reading last. Anything that does the reading last is fine with me. This is small. Is this too small, guys? It's a large text. Ugh. All right. Let's see. Urbanization, industry. Oh, hold on. I gotta take a phone break and look at my phone for 2 seconds, y'all. Give me a break. All right, we're good. Let's start. All right. I'm getting restless here, guys. Why does it have to... Oh, my goodness. Okay. Y'all, make sure you're subscribed if you're not already subscribed. And if you haven't already, guys, sign up for tutoredbydesign.com. It's free to just create an account. You go in, tutoredbydesign.com. tutoredbydesign.com. You go in, you click account, bang, okay? You can sign into an email, right? Easy. I already am signed in, obviously. So, yeah. But you make an account. It's free. And you get emails whenever there's important updates on the site. Not every time there's an update because I don't want to spam you guys' emails. But make sure when you sign up, you verify your email. Otherwise, it's going to get sent to spam, guys. It's going to get sent to spam. All right, anyway. So, let's look. So, this question has this graph. I'm not reading it, but we want to support these conclusions. So urbanization, industrialization, and the warming climate create thermal pollution, excess heat, in the shallow subsurface soil. These people analyzed thousands of sites on 3 continents under one scenario in which surface temperature remains at the current level and under another in which the surface reaches the maximum plausible temperature. They then categorized each site according to the percentage of local home heating needs that could be met using this excess subsurface heat. The team concluded that if surface temperature approaches the maximum plausible level, the percentage of sites where thermal pollution could feasibly contribute to meeting home heating needs will increase. Okay, So basically it's saying, if we just simplify what it's saying maximum plausible temp equals the percentage, so thermal pollution can feasibly contribute to meeting home heating needs. Okay. So if we're at the maximum plausible surface temperature, right, we can increase this. We can increase the percentage of sites where thermal pollution could control, whatever. So percentage of all this, by the way, the title says home heating needs met with subsurface thermal pollution. I'm going to probably use this one, right? At current surface temperature, more than 80% of sites can meet whatever. What the heck? Okay. Local heating needs. So we would use this with the more than 25%. If I'm at maximum temperature, then it's at a very high percent of it's meeting a high amount of this very high percent, right? Yeah, James Blue SAT is a W, right? James Blue SAT is a W. Okay, so we want to support their conclusion under both temperature conditions. Less than 10% of sites were up to the 25% group. No. We want to just use the more than 25% group. We want to say in the more than 25% group, the maximum plausible surface temperature was very high or something like that, right? Yeah. Yeah. Do you recommend James Liu for reading? I haven't ever gone through his course. I mean, not obviously, but I've never actually gone through his course. But James Liu's good. I mean, I only really hear good things about him. Only one thing I've heard is that he goes fast, but I mean, I go pretty fast too. So yeah. So yeah. James Liu's good, and he has that free portion of his course as well. Okay, so anyway, at current surface temperature, more than 80% of sites have no need for supplemental local home heating from subsurface pollution, but at the maximum plausible surface temperature, more than 70% do? No. Right? Current surface temperature. Yo, what am I even reading? I'm not even paying attention. Nah, my grammar's low-key tough, too. But yeah, his grammar's good. What was that? Okay, what am I reading right now? Let's go back. I'm so my brain is fried right now, y'all. I've been doing too much of this. So they categorize each site according to the percentage of local home heating needs that could be met using this XX subsurface heat. So more than 25% could be met if more than 25%. Yo, what is this even saying? I read this without just spacing out because I have to read this multiple times. It's not boring. I mean, I low-key have to read right now a lot because I'm my brain is fried. But on the day of the SAT, I don't know what it is. I just lock in so hard. I'm so dialed in. I would read this once and have my answer without even looking at the answer choices. Right now, my brain is just fried. So for this one, I still don't understand this. So it's saying under 3 scenarios in which surface temperature remains at current level, right? And then one where it remains a maximum plausible temperature. Where's the third one? In which and under which? Oh, I see. That doesn't say something constant. Under one scenario, they then categorize each site according to the percentage of local home heating needs that could be met using the excess subsurface heat, right? Oh, okay. So more than 25% of the sites analyzed, right? Or sorry. More than 25% of local home or local heating needs were met for 80% of the sites analyzed if they had a maximum plausible surface temperature. So basically, I'm looking for something that says that more than 25%, because I'm trying to figure out what this stuff is. I'm still what is this 0% up to 25%? What is that saying? They then categorize each site according to the percentage of local home heating needs that can be met. So this is more than 25% of local homes could have their like heating needs be met, and it was by if there was maximum plausible surface temperature area, right? So when there was maximum plausible surface temperature, more than 25% of the homes could have their heating needs met. So I'm looking for something that says when there's the maximum plausible surface temperature, more than 25% of homes are able to get their heating met. So let's see. At most 25. At current, more than 80% of the sites under both temperature conditions, less than 10% of the sites were in the up to 25% group. But at the maximum plausible surface temperature area, almost 80% of the sites could have their local heating needs met. No, this is wrong. Anyone got a vocab list? Search up 1,000 SAT vocab words. Right? At current surface temperatures, more than 80% of the sites have no need for supplemental local home heating. That is not true. At current surface temperature, more than 80% of sites can meet at most 25% of local homes. More than 80% of sites can meet at most 25% of local home heating with needs with subsurface. So basically, this first part here says that at current temperatures, over 80% of the sites that are the light gray can only go up to 25%, which is true. The first part's true. But at the maximum plausible surface temperature, more than 80% of the sites can meet greater than 25%. It's just barely under 80. So, like, that ruins it. I mean, so what? It's this one. I'm no need for something. Bro, it should be B. It should be C, but it's not because this is, like, not 80% of local homing. Yo, am I tweaking, y'all? Am I tweaking? I'm looking going insane. I've been on this question too long. They're both less than 10% of sites at current surface temperature, more than 80% of the sites. They don't exhibit greater heating needs. It's definitely not B. It's also definitely not this. Huh? Yo, I low-key think it's A. Under both conditions, less than 10% of sites were in the up to 25% group. That's true. But then almost 80% of sites could have their local heating needs met when it was maximum plausible surface area. Yes, it's A. That was a tweak. There's a tweak. When you first start the English module or work in order, I skip the reading questions because they're boring. I leave them for the end. Okay, I have a couple more that I'll do. Already did this one. This one's too long. I already did the silver thing. If you can, whoever sent me the one about steel consumption, if you can send me a better quality picture of it, I'll do that. It's D? Bro, I'm tweaking, y'all. I'm just giving y'all wrong answers on purpose. Why is it D? At current surface temperature, more than 80% of the sites cannot use subsurface thermal pollution to meet any portion of local home heating needs. Okay, that's true. But at the maximum plausible surface area, that percentage drops below 20. Okay, I see. Yeah, okay. But I don't know why it's not A. At both less than 10%. I guess because it doesn't discuss the 0% group. That's a cooked question, bro. These questions are getting to me, bro. I've actually lost my mind, y'all. We gotta do a math question now. I've gotten 2 questions wrong out of the last 5 in reading. That's too much. All right, how do we do this question, guys? Do you know how to do it? This is one of my favorite types of questions. And actually, I'm gonna go one step further and make it harder than this. I'm gonna give y'all a hard question to do. Where is it? Where is it? Let's see. Don't even start trying to do this one because I'm about to show you a harder one. Let's make this bigger. Can it load? Yeah. Okay. I would use Desmos on this question. Normally get 0 wrong, but vocab I got 4 to 5 wrong. Whoa. Bro, you gotta use prefix, suffix. You gotta try to find words that match. Alright, after this, maybe I'll do like 1 or 2 more, and then I gotta get off stream because I gotta get some freaking differential equations work done. Differential equations is cooked. And I have coding work to do, and I have to get my course set up for that it's dropping tomorrow. I have to get it set up. It's a lot, low key. All right, guys, how do you do this question? Would you get this question right? Can I get this question? All right, look. So we have this function. It says the table shows 3 values of x and their corresponding values of f of x, where f of x equals g of x plus 1 and plus 5x, right? Actually, wait, I didn't finish answering your question. You want to use prefix, suffix. You want to try to match it to words you already know, and you want to try to find the connotation. Anyway, f of x equals g x plus 1 plus 5x. F and g are linear. What's the value of g of 12? So here's what I know. If f of x equals g of x plus 1, what's g of x? If it's linear, it's mx plus b, right? If it's linear. And so g of x plus 1 is going to equal m times x plus 1 plus b, right? And so then I just say that my f of x equals, so f of x equals m times x plus 1 plus b plus 5x. And so I can get m and b by just putting this into a regression by doing y1 is equivalent to m times x1 plus 1 plus b plus 5x1. And so if I come into Desmos and I do this regression, I'll do table 5 and 52, 6 and 78, 6, 7, 6 and 78, and then 7 and 104. And then I'll just write y1 is equivalent to m times x1. I predict this on the test, by the way, plus b plus 5x1. And you get these values for m and b. And then if I want to find g of 12, I can just write like g of x equals mx plus b, because now it knows what m and b are. And then I can just write g of 12. It gives me 153. Do y'all want another example of this so you can try to make it concrete? So you can try to make it concrete. Do you guys want to get this concrete in your brain? Yo, someone sent me a message that they wanted me to solve on live. They sent me it on Instagram. That is not an optimal way to get me to that is not an optimal way to get me while I'm sitting on a live stream to message me. But I'll see if I can do it. Hold on. First, let's get this other example in here. Let's see. Where did it go? Where did it go? Oh, right here. I have way too many tabs open. Okay, let's back up. Let's do... Where'd it go? It's hard to find this. Oh, okay, I got it. I wrote this question as well. Yo, do y'all know that I write a lot of these questions? Those questions on that practice SAT I made, I wrote fully out of my head, out of my brain. No AI, none of that. I literally, all of it came out of my freaking brain. All right? Like, I sit at home Friday night typing in SAT questions. That is like a perfect Friday night for me. All right? I do this for a love of the game, y'all. I actually do this for a love of the game. All right, how do you do this question? Can you guys see it? Can you guys see it well? Can you guys see this question well? Maybe I can make it bigger. Hold on. All right. I'm just... All right. After this one, I think we're going to end it. We've been on, what, for 2.5 hours? I've literally started tutoring today at 1:45 p.m. And I tutored yesterday for 12 hours. Guys, it is a lot. Guys, don't become a tutor, guys. It takes so much work. My mental is cooked. I don't understand the grammar rules when the answers have like semicolons before and after. However, guys, by the way, on this YouTube channel that you are watching on right now, I have a grammar 30-minute video where I explain how to answer each type of question. It's been on here for 4 months, and it just sits here because no one, like, watches it. I don't know. I was, like, mad that it didn't get a lot of views. Got, like, 1,000. I was mad. All right. So, look, for this question, what you would do is you would just say y1 is equivalent, and then you would plug this g of x in to here. So you would say is equal to ab to the x1 plus c plus 12 over x1 plus 2. And that's the regression you're going to have. So then we would just go into Desmos, and we would be like table 0, 21, 2, 14.5, 12, 752, 923. And then we would just write like y1 is equivalent to ab to the x1 plus c plus 12 over x1 plus 2. It gives us values for a, b, and c. Bang. What's a, b, or a plus b, c? 86. Bang. Is that tough? Basically, you plug in whatever equation it is. Here they gave it to you. And then you write a regression with it. You write a regression. W or L? Is that a W or an L? Is that easy? I feel like that's easy. Maybe I'm just too judgmental. Yo, y'all have been showing me crazy love on TikTok recently. And, Instagram as well. Instagram, honestly, even more than TikTok. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Like, a lot. Y'all are all so aura, and you're all getting a 1600. All of you are getting a 1600. You, yes, you are getting a 1600. And that's for sure. All right, that's for sure. You, yes, you are getting a 1600. All right, so look. I'll answer a couple more questions, but I think I'm not going to answer any more like actual straight up SAT questions. Oh no, you got cooked on October. Why do you put X1? Because it gets confused if you're putting X. Whenever you're using the squiggly line, you have to write X1. Whenever you're writing the squiggly line, you write Y1 and X1. For the other like letters, you don't have to do that though. It's just for X and Y. Yeah, it tells Desmos that it's like, oh, it's not a like graph, it's just a regression. All right, what type of questions do y'all have that isn't an actual SAT question? Like, do y'all want last minute tips? What do you want to know? What do you want to know? What do you want to know? Also, guys, remember, guys, keep up with my stories. I post important stuff. I'll probably post like a post-match review for the international testers, which will get posted before your test if you're a national student. So check out my TikTok or Instagram tomorrow morning because it'll be posted, and then obviously I'll send out like a good luck to all of you guys. And then, of course, as always, slide for the post-match review where I will tell you guys if the test was a gift from the heavens or if it was a massacre. Okay? Last month it was a gift and a curse. The previous month it was a tale of good luck and good fortune. I'm wondering, will this time be a massacre? You're gonna find out tomorrow. All right. So English predictions. I actually literally just posted a predictions video right before I went live here, so you guys can see it there. Time management in what section? In what section? How to pick what, however, in the first or second clause. So basically, when you have those questions, you say, okay, like what does this transition word do? So like the word however, that shows a contrast. So if it shows a contrast, you should put a however in whatever clause is contrasting the previous one. If it's, for example, you would put that in whatever clause is giving an example. You put it in whatever clause is doing whatever that transition would signal. No massacre. I hope it's not a massacre, guys, but last time it was a massacre. It really was. It really was a massacre. I've been seeing a lot of people starting a mistake log. Does it actually help? Like, you should be able to see your mistakes. Like, are you writing down a mistake log? No, just analyze your mistakes and don't get it wrong again. Waste of time. Waste of time. Obviously, I don't know everything. How did you do vocab questions? I read the question and then I fill in the blank with whatever I think the word is, regardless of the answer choices, and then I try to match the answer choice to my word. This probably isn't going to work if you're really bad at vocab. If you're really bad at vocab, then like read the question, try to do that, and then try to answer the ones you know first. So look at the words you know first, then don't look at anything. Sorry, look at the ones you know first, Then if you know one of those are right, pick those. If you know that they're both wrong, then just guess. Or use prefix, suffix, use prefix, suffix, use so you have prefix, suffix, you have connotation, and then you have like words that are similar. Yeah, what do you mean? Did you get cooked by the August SAT or by the October SAT? Was it a massacre? What do you do if you don't know like 3 of the words? You try to just match them to words you already know. Or like try to figure out the prefixes and suffixes or the connotations. Like pro is positive, D is negative, such like examples. Search up prefix, suffix, common words. What does it mean when there's a fraction in the exponent? Great question. So if I have like 2 times 3 to the x over 6, that means that x has to go up by 6 for me to triple. If I have like 4 times 5 to the power of x over 10, that means that x has to go up by 10 for me to multiply by 5. It's the doubling time. Should I review math or English right now? If I have the same skill in both, you should go to sleep and read the news tomorrow morning. Guys, it is 9 p.m. if you live in the East Coast. If you're an international student, it's already tomorrow morning. Okay, so you should be asleep unless you already have the exam. Now, if it is 9 p.m. tonight, you should be asleep in like an hour, okay? I'm about to go celebrate. I'm going to go celebrate a wonderful round of SAT. But you guys who are taking the SAT tomorrow should be asleep in an hour from now. So no, you really shouldn't review like anything really. How do I choose between punctuation like semicolon or colon? First step is you make sure that you understand this. Where is it? SAT grammar. No, standard English conventions. Guys, I got y'all covered. Let's go. Right here. Okay, you need to have this memorized. So once you determine that something is like, let's click all these. Something is like independent to dependent or independent to independent or whatever. You then figure out what punctuation goes with it. Now, you have to know the rules of periods and semicolons and stuff like that. How do you do that? You go into my cheat sheets that I put in the chat earlier. I guess I could put them in again. This one's for English. This one's an English cheat sheet. It's also in the roadmap. This one's an English cheat sheet. And this one's a math cheat sheet. And it will tell you the things you need to know for the grammar. It'll tell you the types of grammar. Will the live be uploaded? Yes. Yo, on reading mod 2, do you think reading the passages slowly and understanding it or skimming it? Do not skim. Do not skim, guys. Is this real SAT leaks? How? What? No. Where's the leaks? Are the leaks in the room with us? Guys, SAT leaks are not real for the billionth, millionth, quadrillionth time. If you buy SAT leaks prior to the SAT, you are a goon and you deserve a 900 because you are actually not smart or intelligent at all. Everyone just flocked to these documents. Like 15 people just flocked to these documents. Okay, so anyway, guys, these are all in the roadmap. Guys, this page will save you. This page will save you. This page will save you, guys. I promise. Everything you ever would need to like study from is on that page. Okay? Guys, I am not an SAT leaker. There are other people that can do that for you, but I am not leaking the SAT for you. Okay? I don't want a problem with College Board, guys. I don't want a problem with College Board. Okay? College Board is a strong and powerful person. Is a strong and powerful agency that I would not like to touch. I would not like to mess with them. Of course, Mohammed. All right, guys. I think I'm going to end it. I actually have to just go cry because I have to do this crazy differential equations work that I don't want to do. And then I have a CS lab. Not fun stuff. I don't like CS. Actually, I do like CS, but it's hard. All right, and I got to go do this differential equation work, and you guys need to get to sleep. If you have questions from now until later, DM me on Instagram or TikTok, but if you want a faster response, DM me on Instagram. If you want a really fast response, email me through the email at this description, or in the description of this video, or save it for if you want to email me another time. Otherwise, just message me on Instagram. Again, like I said, I have information for my October to November and December coming out tomorrow. Also, scholarship applications will open up again tomorrow. So that's those are two great things that are going to start up again tomorrow. I'll probably take a light week. So I won't take a light week, but obviously, like usual, right after the SAT, I'll do a post-match interview, and then I'll tell you guys, I'll go over a lot of the questions that people were struggling with and kind of questions that are similar to that, so you guys can see how you're supposed to be solving them and improve for the next one. And then I'll keep pushing you guys until November. And yeah, this live will hopefully be uploaded. It sometimes takes a while to get uploaded, but yeah. So yeah, this was a wonderful stream, guys. You guys really turned up for this stream. But yeah, I will see